Oh, if you have to use the bathroom at any time, you could just go.
There's a bathroom here?
Yeah.
No. He means
there's one there. There's one down there.
He means like right where you're sitting.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what we do.
I could go just right outside. You know, the world is your bathroom.
Right. That's true.
That's true.
I was going to say the local police might not like it so much. But,
You'd be a good politician. The world is your bathroom.
That's good.
That's your slogan.
That's the good
Pat
slogan.
Conlin. The world is your bathroom.
The world is your bathroom. Oh my god! I could picture that commercial.
oh my god, the banners.
He just like walks up. He's like, "The world is your bathroom."
That's my guy.
I have a bathroom. That's my guy.
He gets me.
Yeah, I can take a shit wherever I want.
My girlfriend's father said, "Put it away," and I was like, "No
way! You're the one that made roast beef." It always makes me feel like I got a tinkle. Roast beef? Why?
Your boyfriend's peeing on the table.
Hello, you beautiful freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Frequels. I'm your host, EJ Leeson. With me today is the coolest guy in the world, my co-host, Rory Colin. How's it going, buddy?
You were just scaring me a little bit.
I was trying.
That was really intense.
Yeah, I was trying. I'm trying to, like, make people fear me now.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you
And you've
so
always
much.
been doing a good job.
Yeah.
A lot of people just tell you, they're like, oh, he's like a nice guy. They think you want to hear that. But
Right.
we're all very scared of you.
Good. That's where I want to be with people.
Yeah. I have this
Yeah.
thing I check in with Robin every week.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I'm like,
that's
hey.
good.
I'm like, how's EJ doing? What's EJ doing right now? She's like,
holding
he's just staring into the yard.
He's pulling a Jack Torrance right now, just staring outside.
You know, like when he has like his head dipped and his eyes up like that.
Yeah.
That's
Just
EJ.
staring off. Also, we have a very special guest, a first-timer. And this guy, not only is he super handsome, super funny, but also a local DJ Aptrick, Mr. Patrick Conlin. What's up, buddy?
How we doing there, guys?
Good. How about you?
Well, I'm doing okay. happy to be on. This is my first podcast, so I'm excited about this.
I think you're our first DJ that we
Yeah.
ever had on,
Yeah.
right?
I'm honored, even
Yeah.
though I'm scared by that intro that you made before. I'm also now excited a little bit.
Yeah.
Just don't cross a line with them and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Because I'm holding a knife for
Yeah.
the listeners at home.
You actually weren't
And
the,
now my seat is wet.
you actually weren't the very first DJ. It's just the first DJ who made it to record.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
just put it that way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, I heard that you're running for office.
Yeah, do you have any like good slogans or like
Yes, it's called
Yeah.
Pat Conlin.
The world is your bathroom. You're going to see it on all the banners throughout this town.
he's not running on the Democratic ticket or the Republican ticket. The porta potty ticket is his game. He's part of the porta potty party.
He's cornering the market.
The porta potty.
Porter potty party. He won by a landslide.
He's got this.
Oh, God.
Hey, America, if I put what we're referring to
Porta potty party.
as a cold opening, it's called context.
Yeah, it's context.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So what's up, man? I'm so happy to have you on the show.
I know. It's been a while since I got to hang out with you guys, too. So
I
this
know.
is great.
I know it's crazy.
Catching up, reminiscing, and doing things that we like. You know?
Yeah, man. How's DJ life? Like, I know you.
It's quiet. Like I mostly
do a lot
the,
of weddings
I
and
guess yeah,
stuff.
I do mostly the private, smaller gigs, or weddings and stuff like that nowadays. Like not so much the bar scene anymore, but a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Because you used to DJ all the time at V-Spot. and
V
stuff,
Spot.
right?
Yeah, I was there out for about 10 years. I was there every
Yeah.
every single Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, if you've never thought like there'd be a Monday night spot, and that was one of those nights. Like, because it also worked out because a lot of the bartenders, it's like Monday was like their weekend, like that was their that's when like a lot of the places they worked at were closed, so they were able to actually I'm gonna go out and enjoy my weekend because all I did was work all weekend and make money. So Monday night was like their night. It was kind of a really cool industry night.
That's cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
A lot of fun, a lot of good memories, a lot of fun on Mondays. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I didn't know you did you DJ at Porky's and stuff too?
I did. I only did one gig there.
Okay.
We did a Halloween bash there one night. So
that's cool.
Yeah, we just had like this big Halloween party, and they just had me DJ for it. So I was like, I don't have to bartend, but I can play music though. This is great. Oh, there's beer too.
This is great. What's your favorite part of DJing weddings? I just out of curiosity.
Honestly, like the money.
That's the most honest answer anyone's ever given.
But seriously, like it's
a child's laughter.
Stop crying in the corner. The song ain't that bad. I will not play Baby Shark for you.
Pat, we're getting an awful lot of requests for Baby Shark.
I'm sorry.
It's just like a line of babies.
Yeah, they're all like lined up.
They're already forming outside. I thought it was me running for mayor was causing the audience. Apparently, it's a request for Baby Shark.
Yeah, man, took America by storm.
Now, when that's a good question though. Like when people come up to you and they request a song, are you like, oh man, I have like a perfect list of songs all set up for the specific event, and does that throw like a wrench into like?
Well, no, not really. Like
No?
well, a lot of like weddings stuff like that, they have like I usually try to give them the option, like they want to have like songs picked out, like obviously for certain dances and stuff like that. But I also tell them like, hey, there's certain songs that you want to hear throughout the night. Give me a list. I'll play them for you. Make sure that they are played at some point in the night. So that way, it's your wedding day. You're paid for me to be here. So, we want to hear the music you want to hear. So, but I mix in my own stuff too. But like when people come with requests and stuff like that, if I have it, I play it. If not, I try to play something close to it.
Yeah.
So, what's the weirdest song that somebody picked for their wedding?
Oh dear God, I don't even know.
I'm looking for like a heavy metal choice.
Oh God, I've definitely gotten some like 80s like hair metal like stuff like that, but everybody loves that. But like some of the most random stuff, like I could have like an awesome dance floor, and then somebody would ask for like me to play like the Gambler or something like that. I'm like, thank you for killing my dance floor right now.
Kenny Rogers, the Gambler.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. I'm just like you see people dancing, having a great time, and it's like the good dancing and everything, and then all of a sudden this guy comes up and is like, can you play the Gambler? I love that song. And I'm like, yeah, buddy.
Did you just wander into this wedding?
The bar is over there, sir.
Some guy.
You play the Christmas shoe song about the mom dying and the kid going to buy the shoes.
Mr. Conforti, we're going to have to ask you to leave.
Get out of here.
Get him out of here.
What would you say are like your top like 3 favorite songs to play at a wedding?
Oh dear God! Like
The best, like most hype songs.
Honestly, anything that can get a dance floor moving, especially with with a nice mixed crowd of age range and stuff like that.
Like the Gambler.
Yeah.
Gambler.
Yeah, just on repeat. 10 hours. Thank you for having
Third
me.
time play. Ladies and gentlemen, here it comes again. The Gambler.
DJ Scribble mix, and it's like, yeah, new shit, Gambler, Kenny Rogers.
But anything like that, like anything that get a dance floor moving, really, like honestly, anything off the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, like those soundtracks really save me for like any sort of like banquet events or weddings and stuff like that. Like all the songs on there just work as like filler music or even just get a dance floor started. It's great.
That's awesome.
Thank you, James Gunn, for your choices. You helped me make money.
Yes,
Especially Cat Stevens. That really brings the room together. It's not time. That's a really wonderful moment in that movie, by the way. That's probably like the most powerful moment in that whole franchise for me.
Oh yeah, like
The ending of 2 is like really a thing.
I feel like all 3 are just awesome.
Yeah, those
those
my
movies are
three
incredible.
favorite Marvel MCU movies.
Yeah. How about so one thing we always like to ask, what are some new movies that you've watched recently?
Well, honestly, I haven't really been on a movie kick lately. I like I've been more into TV like shows and stuff like that. I've been like if I have watched any movies recently, it's since we just passed May the 4th, obviously Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith, New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi, just all of those.
Rise of Skywalker.
Yes. Well, I didn't even go. Like I was planning on going into the sequel trilogy, but then I was like, no, I'm gonna rewatch The Mandalorian.
It was a real I'll get there someday.
I'll get there. So I still enjoy those movies. It's just I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take a break from the movies and go back to the shows, because when Andor came out season 2, I was just so excited for it that I just needed some filler while I was waiting each week for the new episodes to drop. So
Pat, as a jaded Star Wars fan, all I keep hearing from people is how awesome Andor is. I have not watched it yet.
Oh, it's great. It's fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really shows a different side of Star Wars, because when you think of Star Wars, you think big fights, lightsabers, space battles, all that stuff. Well, Andor just really gets into the nitty-gritty about the backstory of everything, how evil the Empire is and all the shady stuff happening behind the scenes. Even the rebellion too, them doing some shady things too, and you see some of the similarities between the rebellion and the Empire, doing similar things, but what I'm doing is right. No, what you're doing is wrong. What we're doing is right. It's very interesting. I honestly, by the end of season 2, I cried during the finale.
Really?
And that's what I keep hearing.
The ending, it just gets you right there. You don't expect it, and it's just bam. You're just like, oh, and then immediately afterwards, after wiping the few tears that I had, I'm like, all right, I'm going to watch Rogue One now. And because it goes right, the end of the show, it goes right into Rogue One. And honestly, when you watch Rogue One the first time, and then you watch it after watching this show, Rogue One is a completely different movie now. It really is, because knowing all the backstory that led to that particular point, especially with certain characters and what all the other things that led to that particular moment for that movie, it's different. It's really different, but in a good way.
That's awesome. And did you watch do you watch all the Star Wars shows basically, or no?
I finally finished the Bad Batch, actually.
Was that good?
It was really good. I binged through the first 2 seasons. I was a late bloomer into the game, and then season 3 came out. I started watching it, but then I got distracted by something else I was watching or playing, who knows. And then I forgot about it for about a year, and I was like, you know what? I'm watching all this stuff. I should really go back and finish that. So I actually
Pat, it just sounds great.
I had to go back and start the season over, because I don't remember anything that happened.
Again, just sounds great.
Oh no, but it's a great show. It's definitely an interesting side to see, the stuff that the backstory, even with the clones and this particular group that was rogues in their own merit and did different missions, and then how the story unfolds after a while too. It's really cool, and especially to get some of the backstory on any Star Wars fans would know, Palpatine and how he was, the whole clone process and everything like that, the Project Necromancer is what they call it in the show, that they talk about it in Mandalorian, they talk about it in, I think, in Ahsoka maybe at one point, but it's they incorporate all these little bits into the show too, so that everything is connected. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Hell yeah.
What about you guys? What have you been watching lately? Tell me.
Rory, you could go first.
So Becca wants to do a project where we go through all the Pixar movies.
Oh no.
No, I was gonna say I love those movies. No, we just watched Finding Nemo. I hadn't seen it in a while, and that's movie
one of my favorites.
Is wonderful. It's a wonderful
I love
movie.
that movie so much.
I saw that in the theater when it first came out, because I'm 100 years old.
Yeah,
and it's very emotional, very really well paced, well told story. I love that movie.
So Prince, the singer. Right, the artist formerly known as Prince, and then he went back to Prince. That was one of his favorite movies.
Yeah?
Finding Nemo. Yeah,
really.
I just found that out a week ago.
Isn't he also known as the artist was formerly alive?
Man,
no.
Oh man,
Too
come
soon.
on.
Oh no.
Maybe we'll
monster.
Maybe I'll take that out of the episode. We'll see.
Leave it in.
America, write to me. I also revisited Inside Llewyn Davis.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah. I sure did. That's my Adam Driver. I love that scene when
The song.
yeah, and he does all the sound
no.
effects. Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, dude.
zoop zoop zoop.
It's weird because speaking of Star Wars, you have Adam Driver and you have Oscar Isaac in there together, and this is like pre-Star Wars,
Yeah.
pre-Force Awakens.
Because it was like 2011 or 12.
It was like 13, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I bought the Criterion for it, and if Vince was here, we would have him do a shot, but he's not.
yeah.
He passed away, but no, I hadn't
What?
seen it. Yeah, I forgot to tell
No
you.
one told me.
I thought I'd tell you on air so that I could watch you cry.
Oh man.
Yeah, why don't you cry into
right.
that glass? So I,
Let
can
me
have,
just-
I want to drink your tears.
Oh man.
I have
Don't need a refill on that water when I got fresh tears coming out these eyes.
Yeah.
I don't have money for water. I just have EJ cry.
Salty.
So good,
like my
so
soul.
good. But no, Inside Llewyn Davis. I haven't seen it since it first came out, and I remember liking it, and then rewatching it. I'm like, I fucking adore this movie.
Yeah.
Like, it shot up really, really high in terms of like movies that like I love.
Oh really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's so like unconventionally told. I like that Oscar Isaac isn't like
He's kind of like a dick.
yeah,
in that
he's not a
movie.
very
Yeah.
likable character, but I can still sort of sympathize with him.
Right.
He's like a guy that's almost like in love with the starving artist thing. It's like he's not making any like real moves to better his situation. There's a really really wonderful scene that really like sums up his character for me. It's when he like visits his manager and he's just kind of like seeing if there's any like checks that came in, and then he's just like, no, it's buying your shit.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, there has to be something. He's like, I don't even have a winter coat. And he's like, oh, I got one for you. And he goes in the back and he brings out this like really nice coat. And he gets so mad about the coat, like he won't take it. He's like, I'm taking your fucking coat. And then the guy takes offense and asks him to leave. But I just feel like somebody's trying to make him feel better, take him out of his like misery for a little bit. But I think he's like a little bit like
That's where he feels.
yeah, like that's he likes the idea of like he's like a folk singer, starving, no home, just couch to
Yeah.
couch, like living the life kind of thing. And I just think it's a really interesting, very honest movie, and it's fucking hysterical. Like it's a really really funny movie. And best yet, the co-star is an orange cat who I think really steals
right.
the movie.
I thought you were gonna say the actress in it that played Daisy Buchanan.
Carrie Mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, but she's not
so
the cat though.
But she's so funny.
No, she's always. I think she's awesome in everything.
Yeah, no, she is. I think she's really funny in
Yeah.
that movie. I think
She's
that's
just
like,
like,
one
you're
of
a
her...
fucking asshole.
Yeah, she's great.
I'll bring this one up, and then maybe we can tail into what you watched also, because I feel like we both saw
yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
Because I ran into you after I watched it. Final Destination: Bloodlines.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like that movie quite a bit. I was really
Was it really
surprised.
that good? Like I'm seeing the trailers for it. I'm just kind of like, oh, this is another one of these again.
You know what it is? It's sort of like if you took one, because it's very much in line with the other movies.
Right.
But I just think it's more like fleshed out, like that concept.
Right.
I don't think it's like my favorite one of them, but like I think it's like a really, really, really great,
Installment
Yeah.
into the series.
surprisingly.
It's like
good.
6 movies in.
That's the thing I find surprising. It's like everyone that said they've gone to see it said it's really that good. I'm like, is the hype real?
Yeah, it's like it's better than it has any right to be. And then I feel like there's a scene in it with Tony Todd that
that's
I
the
just
best
was
scene,
not
yeah.
expecting to make me cry.
Yeah.
It's just like, boy, it's just one of those things where you're like, God, I miss that guy.
It's basically like him saying goodbye. You know?
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
yeah. That was
he
like
passed away
Yeah, I
recently.
was gonna say yeah, he did. Yeah.
And it's like I think everybody on set knew that he didn't have much longer, and they just apparently gave him the ability to just say like, hey, like say goodbye. And he wanted to say goodbye to his fans, and like you're just sitting there like overwhelmed by the fact that it's actually like happening. He was like, oh my god, because he's like talking to you.
Yeah, no, it really it's kind of crazy because he literally is like talking to the audience, like the people in the room, like the other characters, but then it also applies to like his fans, you know, and like the audience watching, and you're like, it just hits you. I went with Church, and he was tearing up, you know what I mean? And I was just like, what? I shouldn't be crying at the 6th installment of like a horror movie, but I am.
Yeah, man.
Like, that's crazy.
Because it's like,
Yeah.
I think you were at the same convention that I was at with Tony Todd.
I think so.
Because I think I met him twice. But I think
Oh,
you were
yeah, the
at
first
one of
time.
them.
Yeah, the first time we were.
Yeah, and he was just like a real cool guy. Like, he seemed to really like, he didn't seem like he hated his fans or anything
No,
like that.
he
He
was
was just like
awesome.
a real gentle, cool guy. And boy, I'm
We
just
talked
saying
about
this.
Smallville.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he was on Smallville, and that, of
Yeah.
course, that's what we would go with. Like, we couldn't have been like, "Oh, you were in The Crow," or like fucking
Right.
Candyman. We're like, "Remember the episode of Smallville you were on?"
Remember Smallville? That was cool. We were like Chris Farley.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
it was also like, yeah, and it's funny too because even like when I was watching the Flash show.
Yeah.
In season 2, as soon as he was talking, I'm like, "That's Tony Todd," and you just get so excited because he had such a great, like, menacing voice, just like
yeah.
a weird intelligence to it, and like it's just one of those all-timer voices.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks what happened, but it was, I mean, what a wonderful way to like leave that industry, kind of almost like on your own terms. It's like, here's one great final scene, and you know, if you know who Tony Todd is, it's gonna get you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and as you were saying before, it's kind of crazy when you think about horror movies, right? And it gets to the 6th movie of like the franchise. That's when it starts to like taper off and become pretty
That's
bad.
when it starts.
I mean, well,
Movie 6,
at that
not
point,
before.
they're pretty much on the decline, right?
Yeah.
This is a weird blip for Final Destination, where I feel like it actually is one of the best sequels in the whole franchise.
can I tell you what happened?
Yeah.
They were smart enough to let it breathe.
Yeah.
Because after 5, I mean, it was actually like a lot longer amount of time had gone by than I realized.
Yeah.
It was like 10, 12 years, something like that.
I didn't realize
Yeah.
it was that long.
Yeah, I mean, like, they haven't made one of these movies in a very, very long time. And
Not
then
like
what?
Saw, which we were getting like every other year. I'm like, and who keeps asking for these?
This guy. Saw's my favorite soap opera. I'm just saying this, but no, I think it was smart of them just to let it sit for a little bit, because what happened was like a lot of the kids who were watching those movies when they came out,
Yeah.
kind of grew up and probably felt very nostalgic about the whole thing. Like, even like 2, I know that I think it was our last episode. I was kind of a little rough on 2.
Right.
But that opening is like an old timer. Like,
Oh.
it's very like iconic, and probably, if anything, the most memorable moment in the whole franchise.
Yeah,
That
I would
log
say
truck.
the log
I was
truck.
thinking about it over the weekend, and I'm like, it has to be that one.
Yeah, it's kind of like become what, like, Jaws did for sharks.
Or like, yeah, like the showering and Psycho
right,
and stuff
showering
like that.
and Psycho. It's like log trucks have become feared now.
Yeah, you just
because
kinda
of
like-
Final
Absolutely.
Destination.
You see
you
one.
cannot like go on Facebook. You can't go on anything like, or even
Yeah.
just driving on the highway and you see a log truck, and without mentioning Final Destination in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
like,
You're
it's
like, I gotta
it's
get around this.
Interesting. Yeah. It's like, I've seen this movie. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
And also another one is like, I feel like this doesn't really pertain to my world, but if I was somebody who liked to tan, I would never do
Yeah.
it again after seeing 3.
Yeah,
Because Jesus, when I binge watched the whole series again,
Yeah.
I got to that part, and I saw that in the theater with you when it first came out, and I was just kind of like, whatever, because I must have been a sociopath or something. I'm like, this doesn't affect me. I was
don't
watching it
feel
the other
anything.
day, and I was staring at the TV blankly, but I watched it the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, like,
I know.
this is awful.
it's rough. Some of the death scenes throughout the whole series,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that's so rough. Like, for instance, the garbage truck. That was rough. I thought that was
sure.
like one of the worst ones in this new one. I don't want to like give it away.
Don't say
stuff.
too much about it.
Yeah, 'cause
because this episode's gonna be airing about a month
After?
the release. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, if you didn't see it by now, it's on you.
Right, yeah, that's true. But no, I think like there's so many weird specific deaths that you're like, oh, like that's rough.
There's an all-timer character for the franchise also. I forget the character's name, which doesn't say a lot for me, but the tattoo guy.
Oh yeah, like the new guy.
Yeah, I love that character.
He was great.
That actor is like, he's the most one of the most. I almost wish he was the lead, Because like the actress, she's very good, but like they don't give her anything interesting to do. She's just kind of like the doomsday person.
Yeah, she's like, don't do that, don't do
that, and you're just like, ah. I like those.
Don't wear white after Labor Day. She doesn't say that, but
yeah, they're you know, like in the third one, they give Gwen like there's like more like charisma or personality or something.
Yeah.
She might be like maybe my favorite like lead in those movies.
Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah, I think she might be like the best actress. But then also, you know, we have the first one.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Devon Sawa.
Devon Sawa is
rules.
I still think the first one's my favorite one, but 6 is like really high up on that list. It's really good stuff. What'd you see?
Well, I saw Final Destination Bloodlines. So
Hey,
let me talk about it for
talk
20
about the
minutes.
whole
We'll
thing
talk about
all
that some
over
more.
again.
We haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah. So, first things first.
Let's talk about Tony Todd.
No, I loved it. I thought it was great, and I really, really, really enjoyed it a lot. And I feel like they'll probably greenlight a sequel. Like,
This movie made a lot of money. They're
Yeah.
probably already like, write a fucking script.
What? Why have we slept on this for so
Oh
long?
my god. It's raining money. We're the
yeah.
only studio that's making money.
But the one guy that you're talking about is super charismatic, and his career is launched now. 'Cause
Yeah.
so many people are like thirsting after him online already.
Yeah?
They're like, yeah,
You read my posts?
yeah, I saw it. And
Thanks for following me.
I don't know. But no, everyone's like loving that character. And I think he is just a really well written, fun character.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see, you know, people have like a breakout moment, and I think that's going to be his breakout moment.
Sure.
Like his Johnny Depp in Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever, you know? So I think that's cool. But yeah, I saw that, and then I also went to Fan Expo in Philly. And
How was that?
it was awesome. It was incredible. I met John Carpenter,
Awesome.
which he was awesome. I always heard like stories that he's like not the nicest. He's like a grouchy, grumpy old guy. I met him and he couldn't be like more pleasant. He was really cool.
Honestly, like I've met him twice.
Yeah.
Both times he was so fucking nice.
Yeah.
You know what happens? I'm telling you, like there was this guy that was ahead of me the second time.
Yeah.
And he got up to him and he's just like, Mr. Carpenter, you are a god. Thank you for blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, and I'm looking at John Carpenter and he's like the least phony person ever.
Right. Yeah.
There's no pretension in that guy.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like, uh-huh. Like, I feel like if you're not just like a phony asshole, he's going to respond well to you. But like,
Yeah.
I had 2 different conversations where he was so nice and very like gentle and I don't know. So remember, like everyone told us that William Shatner was going to be a dick,
Yeah,
and he was, real cool.
like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
which
I
is
don't
like, I don't get it.
Did he sing through you? Did he sing to you?
I wish William Shatner, like, no, he didn't, but I wish
Poke
he
with
did.
a stick. Do Rocket Man.
Do Rocket Man.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Security.
Spock. No, but he, like, I feel like John Carpenter was just super cool. He liked my shirt because he was like, "Oh, what shirt is that?" Because I was wearing my Harold and Maude shirt, which is very popular apparently. But I was like, "Oh, it's Harold and Maude." He was like, "Oh, I love that movie." I was like, "Me too."
And when you were like, how
How old are you?
If anybody
I wish I
wants a
did.
reference, go back to our Hellraiser Bloodline episode.
Yeah.
Speaking
How
of
old
Bloodline.
are you?
Speaking of Bloodline,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I met Andy Serkis, and
which
freaking
That'd be
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, super cool. I got a Planet of the Apes autograph, and then we talked about he's directing Animal Farm, so we were talking about that a little bit.
neat.
So he was super cool. I met Christopher Mintz-Plasse from Kick-Ass, and he played McLovin in Superbad. He was great. But yeah, it was overall awesome trip. Everyone was
Anybody
like really
else?
nice. Oh, and one more that I met.
Almost
which
could
is-
almost like segue into what we're going to talk about today.
Exactly, which is where I was leading into is I also met Mel Gibson, the star of the movie Signs,
You did,
which is the movie we're covering today.
and very excited to cover.
Oh my god, super excited.
Can we talk about our first experiences with this movie, starting with Mr. Pat Conlin, who suggested this gem.
Yeah, you suggested it.
Yeah, I did suggest this one. Honestly, I remember seeing this in theaters, and I was terrified at a lot of points, like, because the way the movie was made, like this, like it made you have to think about what was going on. It wasn't like, in your face showing you what was happening, and that's what I really liked about this movie too, especially like after like revisiting it. Made me realize too, it's not even just like a straight up movie. It also feels like a found footage movie at the same time, and like in certain aspects, I feel. And I'm a huge fan of found footage. It's something I can just throw on just randomly, especially the horror genre like that. Oh, it's like so. But I'm like going back and rewatching some of this stuff. I'm just like, wow, that's like I never thought about this before. But like I love that type of scares when it's really they depend on you making, like, you have to, your imagination is running wild, and that's what really terrifies you. And that's in those types of movies, my mind likes to go nuts. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go home, turn all the lights on.
No, he really does do a great job using your brain against you.
Yep, he sure does.
So he's like, all right, they're gonna imagine the worst thing in their head, and I always say that too. Like, sometimes our imagination is much scarier than just seeing the monster.
Right.
There's also a mastery of the less is more.
Absolutely.
Because there's points, man. Like I remember seeing this in the theater, and like there would just be like, like when Rory Culkin's by the coal chute. And moves. I remember the theater just freaking out.
Oh, I jumped out of my seat when that happened.
Yeah.
Because you didn't expect it, because you weren't. Honestly, that was the whole point. Like, you didn't know until it was too late.
Yeah.
And you don't even see what happens. Like, the camera just drops to the flashlight on the floor. You just hear it happening in the background. So that's when your brain just starts imagining it itself, what's going on in that. And it's very
so
effective.
I remember seeing this in theaters. I saw it like 3 times. And the first time I went with Adam Farley, and we were watching it, and it got to the point where Meryl's in the closet, and I'll bring it up later too. He's in the closet. He's watching the birthday party scene, which is probably one of the most epic, like, jump scare scenes of all time. And these kids are like going crazy, and they do a great job of kind of recreating the Bigfoot footage. Right?
Sure.
Where the alien like walks by.
It's very Bigfoot.
Right. Oh, 100%. Where like it does
and all the
look
build
at the
up
camera
to it too, like just like getting you to that point when it finally shows you, and you're just like, you're having the same reaction as Walking Phoenix has when he sees it.
Adam literally went, Jesus Christ, and I was like, that's really fitting for this movie.
That's funny.
But no, it was so like all of us. I just remember the theater going, and it was like one of the most reactive things I've ever seen in a theater, just from that birthday party scene, and not even counting like the multiple, like the leg and the crops and all that kind of stuff. This movie was so effective, so great, and I kind of forgot how wonderful this movie was, because I saw it like so many times, and then it kind of like went to the back burner, right? Like you don't really think about it, and then all those weird theories online where it's like, why would aliens come to a water planet, and
well, that's stupid, because like you don't know that fire's hot until you're burned by it,
right? Yeah,
that's a dumb argument. I remember people throwing that at me, like, because I'm like, I really like science, like, why would aliens come to a planet that's all water? I'm like, maybe because they don't know it's they're allergic or whatever the problem is.
Maybe
they're
like,
vulnerable to it.
Well, that's the whole purpose of the movie too, is
like
Superman's
kryptonite.
It's not a full-blown invasion. It's just, they send
scouting
it out, seeing like, hey, do we want to be here? Nope.
That was like that time where like people were so goddamn reductive about everything.
Yeah,
every single movie, it was just like one little perceived plot hole just completely ruined the whole film. And I'm like, no, it's like that always made so much sense to me that like they're sending scouts down.
Right, and then that's basically what the army.
Yeah, the guy
saying.
says it to you. It's in the movie. I'm sorry if you were nodding off, but but like the idea that it's just like, because I heard so many people say that they're like, oh, it's so stupid. The whole planet's made out of water, and that's what their weakness is. I'm like, yeah, they probably didn't know that it was their weakness.
Hence why they were checking it out.
It's very likely that whatever planet they came from doesn't have water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Superman situation, right? Like he doesn't know he's allergic to his own planet, like Krypton,
Right.
Right. So it's kind of
Why
like,
would he think that?
right? Like, why would you think that? Like, or I don't know. So it's just like one of those things where you don't know your weakness till it happens,
Yeah.
right? Like, so you don't know you're allergic to something until you're exposed to it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel
So
like
it makes sense.
possibly the reason why people have that argument though is like the whole water situation because they do explain in the movie it's like the crop circles are far away from water. It's far from water.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it's like we already know that water is bad. So why are you like? So I can understand that being the argument in that.
But they also explain though that like those crop circles are like a navigational.
Correct.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't imagine that they're like, okay, let's put a crop circle, let's put a circle in the water and just see what happens.
See what happens.
Oh man, it went away.
What's going on with this one?
Well, that didn't work.
We didn't hear from 5 or 6 fleets. I don't know what's going on with
Keep
those
losing
guys.
people.
But yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, my first time seeing this movie was so much fun.
Yeah,
Because for everybody listening at home, you know all those empty seats in your theater? They used to be filled with people.
yeah.
It was crazy. People
And
used
it wasn't a Marvel movie.
to, I know. People used to just go see movies like A Beautiful Mind, and it would sell out. And
Well, M. Night at that time was super
was
hot
huge.
too. 'Cause
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
He literally just had Unbreakable, amazing. Like
Yes.
anyone that saw that movie loved it. And then he had the, well, go ahead.
Sixth
Yeah.
Sense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, I just remember my theater was packed, and everybody laughed at the right places. People were screaming and like jumping
Yeah.
out of their seat, and I remember that. And we'll touch on it at some point when we get there. But that scene where they're like locked in that room, where like the coal chute is.
Yeah.
I remember like being in the theater and my heart was racing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was all
Yeah,
like
same.
it wasn't showing me what I wanted to see.
Right. Mhm.
So I just felt like anxious and like it was and I just remember like leaving the theater and just being like, wow, like what a fucking great film, you know?
Yeah.
And it is like without a doubt my favorite M.Night Shyamalan movie because like
Yeah.
I just feel like there's and again we'll talk about it, but there's some themes and stuff that are touched on in this that I just think are like really like beautifully fleshed out and really just even like last night when I was watching it, and then I watched it before I came here, which I don't normally do.
Right.
Where I found myself very like emotional watching this movie,
Oh,
but
me too. Yeah.
we'll get there.
It's weird because like originally watching it, I don't think I like was emotional. I was like more like psyched about all the like how scary.
Yeah,
creepy it
there's like
was.
aliens in it,
And then like watching it now, there's this like, emotional weight to this movie, and I'm like, holy crap! I was like tearing up.
Me
and
too.
I was like telling Robin about the premise like before I came, and I started to tear up. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm just thinking about this movie."
yeah, and you just and it's so funny because like you know it's one of those instances where like a really great horror film sometimes isn't just based on like how many people get killed. Sometimes it's just like fleshing out your world, fleshing out your characters, making you care about the characters, and then putting them in danger, and it's a completely different experience.
and there's so many like deeper themes going on in this movie.
Yeah,
too.
and they're and honestly, for anybody who maybe doesn't like Mel Gibson, they couldn't have gotten a more perfect person to play this character because in real life he's very faith-based, like he's a very like religious person. So he's playing a guy who's having like a spiritual crisis.
right.
So like you see the pain in that guy when he's like detached from, you know, God.
Right.
And I don't think an actor could have been as convincing unless they actually realized how important that stuff was to them. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And like
yeah.
that feeling of just knowing what it would be like not to have that. Because there's points in it where I'm like, God, you were, you know, like that part like when Rory Culkin can't get, you know, he's at, and he's like trying to help him breathe, and he's just like talking to God, and he's like, I hate you, but it's
You
so
feel,
like,
it's so powerful when
yeah,
you're like
it
moving.
cuts through you, like
Yeah.
'cause he makes you believe it.
It's
but
so nice to see him in like a role like that too, because like when you think of Mel Gibson, you're thinking of like all the action movies he used to in the past, and
Right.
like and like you know Lethal Weapon, like all of those, and then you see him in that role, and it's just like whoa.
yeah, those more sensitive roles, like even like some of those emotional parts in Braveheart, like he knows how to strike that balance really well. But
Yeah.
let's talk about this fucking movie. What movie are we talking about today, EJ?
So we're talking about Signs, guys. Directed by M.Night Shyamalan. This movie is definitely a gem, and we'll talk more about like what we think afterwards too.
Unless
But-
we forget to.
Unless we forget to. which
Sometimes we do
happens.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sometimes I'm
whatever.
like, we'll say, and we'll talk about that when I'm doing the edits, and then we never go back to it.
Well, if you
Like,
forget, if you forget about it, just blame it on me.
Yeah, we'll be like, Pat was here and he just started playing Baby Shark and we all fucking lost it.
we actually have
This evening is ruined.
we actually have guests on the show, so we can blame all of our shortcomings on them.
Yeah.
We're just like,
That's why
that
we-
wasn't my fault. It was the guest. Okay.
I'm very happy to be here, so you can do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wish you just were like, I'm really happy to
Don't
be here.
cancel us, cancel them. That's our thing.
Go after the DJ.
So the film opens, and the score for the opening credits, I read that M. Night wanted, he was like, I want it to sound like a mixture of Psycho, definitely like have like a Hitchcock vibe, and there's definitely notes. Oh, do you have that written down too?
I said opening, very Hitchcockian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was his inspiration. Like and so when he was talking with the composer, he was like, "Yeah, I want like vibes of like Psycho, but definitely Hitchcock."
You definitely get like that vibe, like like all the tidbits of Hitchcock throughout the movie, and like how he
Yeah.
referenced him through the movie. Like I didn't even realize that until I actually did some more research into it. I was like, oh wow, I had no idea. I was just enjoying the movie for what it was, and I'm like, oh wait, look at this.
Yeah.
He's definitely just all through a lot of his movies very like Hitchcock inspired.
Yeah.
Like a lot of really great directors are. He's one of the greatest directors of all time. My favorite.
I think like M. Night, he, you know, I don't know what it is, but he did have like a little bit of a moment in time where people were just like, oh, it's just twists. Like that's all his movies. But when you watch
twist?
yeah, what's a twist? But when you watch his movies, he's such an effective filmmaker. Especially like this one, just like certain things he does and like how he places the camera and writes, because he writes and directs all of these. So it's like
he's great.
it's insane.
I will say, just putting this right out there, I know that was another one of those reductive things that people did where they're
Right.
like, his movies are just about twists, and you're like, well, you just missed a lot.
lot, yeah.
It's just like, okay, so there's this whole other side of this filmmaker that you just fail to understand. Well, like I always said that, like even his movies that don't fire on all cylinders, they're
Yeah.
never boring.
No.
And they're always ambitious, and he's always swinging for the fences.
And his camera work is
Yeah.
insane. It's so good.
And I just feel like, you know, there's a lot of filmmakers who sometimes make these movies where you're like, okay, so you did that for a paycheck, or you didn't feel completely attached to that. He's always trying things. And
Yeah.
like I saw that movie Old.
I just, that's so weird. It just popped in my head. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
literally
saw that
2
a couple
seconds
of
ago.
months back
Yeah.
myself. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but again, like that whole concept, you're just like, no other filmmaker probably would have touched that.
Right.
Because there's some weird shit in it.
It's weird, and then I love like the exposition dump at the end. That's very much like Psycho.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
yeah, it's Psycho.
Norman Bates.
yeah, but no, he's such a great director
Yeah.
and writer. I feel like he writes some like real. I loved Trap. Like I remember coming out of Trap.
Dude, we were big fans
and
of Trap.
just being
Art.
like,
I didn't get a chance to
holy
watch that. I
shit.
want to see. I want to see. When I
Dude.
saw the trailer for that, and it said, I was like, "Oh, M. Night's back," and it's like, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Is this going to be good or is this going to be a dud?"
Hey,
Yeah.
check it out. You get M. Night Shyamalan and Josh Hartnett,
Right.
Who I feel like has never done wrong in my eyes.
Like
No.
at first, when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, "What is this movie supposed to be?" And then it's like really kicks off, and you're like, "Oh, okay, this
Yeah.
is. I definitely want to watch this." And
it's like a very good season of Dexter.
Yes,
That's what I would compare
love
it
that
to.
show. Love that show.
yeah.
So-
It's such a like in.
I think they call him the Butcher in it too.
Yeah.
like I feel like M. Night Shyamalan was like a big Dexter buff. There's Dexterisms. There's even like some of the ways that like we're not talking about Trap. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go off.
We're talking about Trap.
Tangent.
Yeah,
Hey, we
sorry.
can talk about that. Technically,
You know
this
what?
falls into the
We're
frequent
gonna,
wheelhouse.
Yeah, we're gonna do Trap
Yeah.
for sure. One day
We're gonna get
When
Pat
you
to watch
it,
Trap, and you're coming
Yeah, then I'll
back. to
come
talk
back.
about
You're just
Trap.
gonna be our M Night guy. Like, we just do all
Can we
M. Night.
not? I like other movies too.
You're watching Trap, and you'll like it.
Yeah, that's what you get.
They
kid.
won't let me watch anything else. Please save me if you're out there listening. Please.
Hey Pat, I got the visit.
Oh no, not the visit.
I hate you guys. I hate you so much.
I hate you.
Mel Gibson.
It's not only my fault they won't let me leave.
I hate you. You're supposed to bring me on for movies,
Yep.
not just M.Night.
You can have some water when you watch Trap. Please.
So the film begins with Mel Gibson waking up from a nightmare.
Hey, wait, real quick before we jump in.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the alternate ending to this?
No.
No.
It's essentially where Mel Gibson shouts at the aliens until they leave. Did you ever see that?
No.
And they're like, "Okay, cool it, bro." And
Hey,
then
leave
they
us
take off.
alone, man.
He just loses his mind shouting at them. Did you see that?
No.
No, you should check it
Get
out.
outta here.
It's on YouTube. Anybody listening right now, type in Mel Gibson shouts.
I have a bad feeling about this. But I'll do it. The film begins with Mel Gibson waking up from a nightmare, and him and his brother Joaquin Phoenix, who the character's name is Meryl, they hear screaming coming from the kids who are playing in the cornfield, and they run out and they see the kids.
By the way, the voices of children from within a cornfield. Nothing bad could go wrong.
No, trusting.
Nothing could go wrong.
So they run, and when they get to where the kids are, they see this giant crop circle, and the dogs are both barking like crazy. And then we get the little subtitle that Bucks County, 45 miles from Philadelphia.
EJ, were you scared when you saw the Culkin?
Oh, no, that Culkin? No, Rory Culkin.
Yeah.
No.
I know you have a phobia of the Culkins.
Yeah, I think it's just mostly Macaulay.
Okay, I just want to make sure you're okay.
And Kieran.
Kieran, make sure you're okay.
Yeah. I'm okay. But yeah, so Mel Gibson calls.
Oh wait. Also, I'm sorry to keep interrupting.
Yeah.
This all you do is just interrupt
I
him.
do. I do. I have
And you
to.
blame everything on me.
Pat actually has been making me interrupt you.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
It's actually
I was
not
like,
my fault.
what? Why is
But,
he poking you like that?
Even when I'm not here on previous episodes.
I'm just saying I wanted an alternate version of this scene when Mel Gibson walks out to the cornfield and you see the crop circles and he's just like, "Oh my God, I'm ruined!" Because that's all of his money
Oh, right.
wrapped up in the cornfield.
Wrapped up in corn. Yeah. I got my money all tied up with the corn. Joaquin, I can't help you out.
You're gonna have
So
to
is him
move
being a
out.
priest a side gig then?
Yeah, what is the deal? Like that's his cornfield and he's and
that's
he's
his cornfield.
So like that's his farm,
Yes.
but he's also a priest.
Well, not anymore.
But he was.
He was.
Did he become a farmer after he stopped being a priest?
He was probably both. Like he
Wow, what a guy.
double dipping. Yeah.
Jeez.
I know.
That's a man right there.
I was gonna say that's what a employment shift.
Right.
It's like I don't believe in God anymore. Corn.
Corn never let me down.
I only believe in the corn now. Maybe he watched Children of the Corn. He's like, that's what I'm into now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I understood the message of this movie, but whatever.
But the film begins with Mel Gibson, and they hear the kids. They get there, they see it's a crop circle. So Mel Gibson calls Lee to report. Like he's like, I think your kids pulled a prank, blah blah blah, and that's when the sheriff shows up, Cherry Jones, to check it out, right? And meanwhile, the dog Houdini is kind of like acting really funny. It peed on the floor, and it keeps barking at the kids.
It's Houdini and what's the other dog's name?
Isabel.
Both great dog actors.
Yeah. Both incredible dog actors.
Woofs.
Yeah, they're outstanding.
But the dog, like, it pees on the floor because they say that, like, I guess animals act all weird when there's, like, a predator nearby.
Yeah.
So it's, like, kind of
Why?
a little bit of a setup for some bad shit that's going on. There's
Yeah.
probably, like, because you know those aliens can, like, blend into shit.
Oh, yeah.
They literally could just be, like, watching them right at that moment, and those dogs are probably like, well, I guess there's nothing left to do but pee myself.
Yeah, fuck. Fuck me. So we see where Houdini is barking like crazy at the kids, but I suspect, like Rory said, like those aliens can like camouflage themselves, and
dogs
it's
are
probably
just-
up on the rooftop, and it's like freaking out because it's like so close and it sees it, but the kids can't.
Did you think it was weird when Mel Gibson started cleaning up the dog pee, and then like when the kids left the room, he just started wiping it all over his face? Like, oh fuck yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we see where the two kids, by the way, are played by Rory Culkin and Abigail Breslin.
Who is the cutest little girl?
Yeah,
That kid is so damn cute.
she's great in this movie.
Yeah,
She's what, like 5 in this?
I don't know, but she's
She's
like
so
the
young,
tiniest little person,
She is.
and you're just worried about her the whole time.
I know. So when Mel Gibson, he's like kind of showing Cherry Jones, like the sheriff, like the layout, like what happened to his crops, and they think it's a prank or like some kind of joke that's happening. When they get back, they hear the dog kind of barking. So they get back and they find that Rory Culkin killed the dog because the dog jumped on him and he had like a knife for some reason.
The dog had a knife.
Yeah, the dog had a knife.
Oh, the dog.
So it was like self-defense.
Yeah, the dog's like, give me your money.
Give me your money.
I know your Culkin's got a lot of
I was
it.
gonna say, like they were like by the playground too, weren't they? Like the playground that they had in their backyard
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like I bring knives to playgrounds.
Yeah, like who brought the knife?
I was gonna say, since when the playground's not safe.
What's going on there? And
Hey,
then
he stabbed the dog, and then they have Abigail Breslin. What's her name? Bo.
Bo.
She's just like sitting up there all curled up looking scared, and I'm like, somebody give her an ice cream cone.
Yeah. I was like,
Uh,
oh, this is like a rough scene. And like he explains, like killed it in self-defense. It was like jumping and it kind of landed on me. And then
actually, it's cool though, that dog, it actually won an Oscar for best dead dog on a farm.
oh man.
Tough
Yeah.
year that year.
I actually, when I saw that, I was like, I didn't remember the dog dying in this. Not crazy about that.
Hey, you know what's interesting too? Before that scene,
Yeah.
Bo's talking about how the water's contaminated.
Yeah. So at
That
this
sets
point,
up the whole
stuff going on later. Yeah.
But when she's like, "Oh, the water's contaminated," I want to be like, "Wait until 2025."
oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a lot of things are gonna get worse. There's a lot of things they talk about in this where I'm like, "Oh, you wait."
No. Wait a second there,
You
buddy.
think this is bad? Just
Oh.
wait.
Wait, maybe like the water is normal on the aliens' home planet. Maybe it's just our water that hurts.
It's like toxic. They're like, oh no, what is it?
you guys fucking drink this?
There's parasites in this.
I remember the scene when they're in that grocery store or whatever, and then the lady at the front of the stores is like, "There's something wrong with the water." And I'm just like, and I can just see her husband in the back room, like, "What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Yeah.
Get these kids out of my store."
Kids are bringing me nothing but trouble.
I hate these kids. So that night, Abigail Breslin, she wakes Mel Gibson up, Graham, to tell him that there's a monster outside keeping her up. Now at this point, she keeps saying there's something wrong with the water and keeps leaving her glasses all around the house. And Mel Gibson, Graham, is like, what's wrong with this water? She's like,
There's like a hair in it.
there's a hair in that one.
It
And then
tastes
he's like, what's
old.
wrong with this one?
That's what she says when she wakes him up, and it's like, it tastes old.
It tastes old, yeah.
He's like, and then she's like, this one has amoebas in it or something.
Yeah, it has her brother's amoebas in it.
This scene that you're getting into with
Yeah.
when she wakes him up
Yes.
and she says that there's a monster outside, he takes her back into her room and they start having this really beautiful conversation. It's like one of the moments where I'm just like, oh, I forgot that this movie is like really kind of heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like when
Because they're
he's
dealing
like,
with the loss at the end that they
yeah,
had.
and he's just like,
Yeah.
She's like, how come I, hear you talking to mom sometimes? And he's like, does it make you feel better? And did she ever respond? And he's like, no. And she's like, yeah, she never responds when I talk to her either. And I'm like, my heart just broke.
Yeah,
know.
that line hits. Like, it's just like, oof. Hearing that come from such a young kid, too.
I know.
Yeah, it's
so
like
sad.
really, really somber. But it's
ruined.
It's actually like this scene is exactly what I love about this movie because they have this very emotionally poignant moment about this, like, like father and daughter trying to cope with grief.
Yeah.
And then you see a fucking scary alien standing on the roof, and you're
Yeah.
like, this movie rocks.
Yeah, as they're talking, he like looks out the window, and on top of the farmhouse, right, he spots like the silhouette of a person or alien. It definitely looks alien. I don't
Goblin.
know.
They think it's the neighbor still because that's
Yeah,
like
he's
the-
like, oh, it's one of the freaking wolf hard kids or whatever.
Yeah.
The Finn Wolfhard kids.
Yeah, whatever their names were.
They bring them up a lot.
And so he spots this, so he gets his brother Meryl up, played by Joaquin Phoenix, and
I love how they're like trying to amp each other up. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, he's like, what are we gonna do? He's
I'm
like,
gonna kill this kid. And he's like, no.
He's
It's
like,
like,
you just go out there and just start making noises, like curse and stuff like that. It wouldn't sound
Yeah.
normal if I cursed though.
yeah.
I like
And
how
then
he's
when he
like,
does curse, I remember seeing it in the theaters and everybody just died laughing.
Oh,
when he-
that scene played
It's
out
time
so
for
well.
an ass whooping.
yeah. I'm gonna kick your ass.
Well, he, like his walking Phoenix is just screaming, except he's on the
Yeah.
other side of the house, and he's
like,
like, and Mel Gibson's is going around. I'm filled with anger. I'm losing my mind. And then he sees the shadow of the alien running in the light, and then it's like, it's time for an ass whooping. And then I just remember the theater just laughing out loud at that point. And then when he came around, he's like, I cursed. I heard.
It plays out really funny, and like I think that's what's great about this movie, because there's moments where the comedy kind of breaks up like some really serious moments, some scary
Tension.
moments. So a lot of that tension is like you feel that release, like to laugh, but it kind of like.
I gotta go.
Yeah. No, but it's good to do that because then you're unprepared for the next scary part that happens. You know what I mean? So when you're on like the fence, you're like tense and you're waiting for the scary stuff. It's not as scary as when you're loose and you're like having a good time. And then you see something fucked up and you're like, ah, holy shit.
Yeah.
So he does a great job
Yeah.
of
Balancing tones and
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
I also
so good.
I did like right before they went outside, and he's like, oh, just like act crazy, and Mel Gibson's like,
Yeah.
explain act crazy, and then Joaquin Phoenix said, just be yourself, Mel.
just go out there and be yourself. Like
Zing.
like
What was it we were supposed to look up on YouTube later?
Mel Rants? Is that it? I don't know. Or Mel Gibson yelling?
I'm insane with anger. I'm losing my mind. Oh,
Yes.
actually, that's a terrible note. I'm insane with anger. I'm losing my mind. A few years from now, he's really got that down. Oh, I don't feel good about
He really
that.
took that note.
I don't feel good about that.
man.
I'm just crossing that right out.
So the next day, the sheriff stops by again, and then we kind of get like a little bit more about Meryl in the scene where she kind of commends him. She's like, "Oh, you're great playing. I used to love watching you play baseball." And then she kind of commends Meryl for like moving in to be with Graham and the family after the tragedy that happened with the mother and the loss of his wife. So the two brothers report kind of what happened the night before, and again we have like some great comedic moments with Joaquin
Oh my
Phoenix.
god.
Where
The line.
she's like, well, one time there was like this Olympic
Scandinavian
yeah.
Well, because he says that it's like,
6 foot.
he's like it's a tall like man. She's like, well, how do you know it's not a woman? And he's like, I've never seen a woman run that fast. She's like, those women in the Olympics run really fast. And Mel Gibson at one point just goes, I know you're trying to make a point right now, but I just can't figure out what it is. Like that's like a line I would like to just use in my own life.
It's like
Yeah.
aside from us,
Oh, that's my favorite.
The Scandinavian Olympian jumping onto our roof. What else could it possibly be?
Such a great
But then I
line.
love how he makes that comment and you make your laugh, and then like they continue with the conversation, but then he goes back to it. He goes, "All right, I might have been over the line with that comment."
Yeah, it's so good.
I like that there's a couple times in this movie where people are like kind of impolite and then they apologize for it.
Yes. Oh yeah.
That happens later on when Mel Gibson is sitting with Rory Culkin and he's showing him the Alien book and he's like making fun of it and he's like, well, fine, you're gonna fucking make fun of it. You don't
Yeah.
get to see it. He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I overstepped the line.
Yeah, there's very polite characters.
But yeah, we also find out a little bit more about Graham, and because she keeps calling him father, he's like, "Stop calling me father," and that he left the church about 6 months before, like after the wife died. He left the church, kind of lost his faith. And early on, I didn't point it out, but when he wakes up for the first time and you're in his room, you see the
exactly what you're gonna
outline
say,
of
yeah.
like the cross that would have been on the wall. And so you knew something is like out, like God is not with him at this point, right?
That is
like,
such a
so out of his
subtle
life.
thing.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of great though that there's like an imprint of it in the wall,
Yeah.
and it's gone, but it's not completely gone. It's like he's taken the crucifix down, but it's still there.
Right.
It's kind of like whatever's going on within him, kind of indicative of what he's probably feeling.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that's really, really good filmmaking.
And there's also like, if you look, especially when they're driving the town, there's like a park outside, and it's in the shape of like a cross. And there's like crosses present, but not, actual crucifixes.
There was an out of place crucifixion going on in the town square. That was weird.
That was weird.
Remember that scene?
That was another deleted scene.
Yeah, that was
The power of Christ compels you. Ah!
There's an exorcism in this movie. There's a crucifixion.
But it has everything.
This movie has everything. So as they're talking about who the possible suspects, right? They get interrupted by Bo, the little girl, saying every channel is playing the same thing, and so they go to the TV, and basically it's a report of crop circles popping up all over the world, but especially India. Like, they specifically were talking about those, and I like how I kind of talk about it later too, how they link. It's not like a big budget movie. This could have been like a big budget, like Independence Day type of movie, right? But it's all from the perspective of a small farm family, right? And
Which, if you actually watch the making of it, they actually built that set. They found the land. They grew the corn, the crops, and everything. They built the house from scratch. I never knew that. I thought that was just like, oh, they just drive around somewhere in Pennsylvania. It's like, oh, we'll use that house.
We'll get out of your house.
And that corn.
get out of your house.
We're
making
that's
a
how we
big
do it
budget
in
movie.
Hollywood.
We'll call you in 6 months.
Get out.
Here's some cab money. Get out of here.
Cab money? What about a hotel?
No.
Not in this budget. The news reporter that's going
Yeah.
over everything, his name is Richard Kidman. I wish he was played by David Lynch.
Oh, that would have been outstanding.
Wouldn't that have been a much better person?
There's crop circles.
There's aliens in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So
Here's
so
the
good.
weather report.
But no, I do like that perspective that he tries to. It's all through the eyes of this family, right? And they're linked by having the same kind of event that happened in India happen right in their backyard. And I love that, like, because it sets up like so much. Like they have this link to the outside world, and they feel so isolated and so alone on this farmhouse or like this farmland, and basically it just like shows, I love that.
That's
No,
what
dude,
he
you're
wanted
right.
to go for. That's like
Yeah.
a lot of inspiration is like big tragedies happening outside, but you're sectioned in on this one particular area and just like confined to this spot.
Right.
Which is interesting because it's the difference between having made a pseudo horror film versus making like an action movie.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So the claustrophobia and just like that, like the outside world is creeping into this farmhouse is like it gets under your skin.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
And
violating in a weird way too. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
It's like sometimes like when he's out in the cornfield at one point, there's like a point where you see like it's just like its arm of the alien kind of creep into the cornfield,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh, it's in there. That's scary. It's like infesting the farm. It's really neat.
yeah, it's crazy. And so, the family, they all drive into town, and basically Mel Gibson puts like a block on the TV. He's like, okay, no more TV. We're going to town. Let's go. Right?
Which is like, again, kind of his thing. Like he doesn't want to face things. Right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
He blocks off things that are very, very, very like uncomfortable. or frightening or anything that might just be too much for him to handle.
Right.
It's like, we're shutting the TV is off, no radio. You can have a baby monitor.
Yeah.
That's about it.
That's it. Yeah, because
Here, play with this.
yeah.
Here's some string.
And so when they get into town, they all go their separate ways.
Did you find it weird when Rory Culkin looks at him and he's like, book money?
Book money? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of this one thing where Ben Schwartz was on Parks and Recreation, and him and the sister would go to Henry Winkler, who's their dad and super rich. They go, money! And they would just go like this.
Yeah.
That's basically him. He's like, book money? So anyways, I like that they all go their separate ways, and it kind of shows where they're at. Like, their family's really strained, right? And they're not all going together. They're all kind of going off on their own. Only the brother and sister are together. But, like, Merrill goes off on his own. You see, Graham going off on his own, and the kids going to the bookstore.
Doesn't it seem like all like where they end up going strengthens like the purpose of each of the characters? Because like the kids go off to a place where they gather like knowledge,
Information, yeah.
yeah, and then like
So
what's
does Meryl.
Yeah, well, Meryl. Yeah, Meryl goes in and he gives us the exposition dump, which is great from the army fella. But I love that Graham, when he goes into like the drugstore, he's like talking to this girl, and she's like asking him for spiritual guidance.
Yes,
which is maybe the funniest scene in the movie for me, because he's
like,
just like
so annoyed.
Jesus
He's like,
Christ.
I'm not a priest anymore. I'm not a reverend anymore.
Yeah, just like you were saying before, like people keep like naturally calling him father, and he's like just keeps telling everybody, I'm not that anymore. It's nothing.
I love when she's like, oh, I said, is the word douchebag a sin? He's like, depends how you use it. She's like, you're a douchebag for kissing Mary. Yeah, that's a sin. He just like wants to get the hell out of there.
Yeah,
I don't know. That whole sequence is really.
Can I please get my prescription and go?
Can I please just?
You won't even
This
make
transaction is longer than I want it to
And she
be.
wants to like have this confessional moment because she feels like the world is ending.
Yeah,
right?
some of them are interpreting it as like Judgment Day.
But I think the scene is also important too, because it shows like different aspects of like how people would react in like a situation of an alien invasion, right? Like, so some people are going to science or books to like learn more about it and that preparation way, right? And then the girl has like a struggle, not like struggle with faith, but is trying to like redeem her sins because she is turning to faith in a situation.
Thinking
and then
this is the end, so I need to repent.
Yeah,
Right.
like I feel very guilty about some stuff that I did.
And then Meryl, it's like some people turn to the military to like, I want to fight, like go like against the aliens and go for that fight. But not that he wants to.
Yeah,
I think it's just showing like in an outwardly way of like the three different ways people could like go about that.
It's also that last thing that I was trying to say before about like how each of their little separations kind of like enhances the characters a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like there's the army guy is essentially telling us all about like what he thinks is going on with the probing and stuff. But he also starts planting these things into his head. It's going to come into play later because they start developing his whole, you used to play baseball. You used to swing really well, Nero.
Okay,
You had real power. Why aren't you in the major leagues?
Yeah. Why aren't you making stacks of cash and getting your toes licked by beautiful women?
That is a weird line.
That's a line I would like to ask M.Night Shyamalan.
I was going to say, what were you thinking to write this?
What was that?
I heard that one line was written by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, see, that makes sense. Maybe that's an ode.
That makes a lot of sense.
Maybe that's like an homage to Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, or he's just got some filthy
Or he's
kink.
also, maybe it's a director thing.
I think he's got a kink.
Yeah.
But no, it's interesting though that like that whole section of the movie could be just something where like the movie meanders a little bit and like lesser hands.
Right.
But like it's all just about informing the characters and what they're going to do towards the end of the movie.
100%. Yeah.
It's neat.
It's a really cool scene because, as he's at the recruitment center, right? And he's talking to that recruiter, Cunningham. And he starts talking about the crop circles and how it's probably like a recon team, right? That's sent down to like kind of see the situation before they do like a major invasion. And so and then sending in the troops to like for that invasion. And then I love that like Meryl's like, you know what? Can I just get like a pamphlet or something?
Yeah.
Like he just like, all right, whatever, man. You know. But
like, I got to get out of this office. This guy's creeping me.
yeah, and then I like again, like it sets up the character a little bit more because we just heard from the sheriff he had like a pretty strong baseball career, but we didn't know. Like she's like, oh, I loved watching you play, and then in this scene, it kind of really sets it up. Like he almost probably could have played professionally.
Yeah, but it's
And-
also just like he says, like it's something akin to every swing mattered. Like he,
Right.
because that Dick Lionel that's
Oh
in there,
yeah,
it's just like he's
Michael
like,
Showalter from The State.
Yeah,
Which I was like, I didn't realize he was in this. I
Yeah.
watched this movie like 3 times. Why didn't I know that?
he's like, oh yeah, Meryl's a grade A fuck up. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
He also holds the record for the most swing and
Yeah,
misses.
because he says that
So,
he,
like top strikeouts or something like that.
Right, most strikeouts.
because
Yeah.
he basically is saying he had this compulsion to always swing because like it just seemed
Yeah.
like something he had to do, and it's all kind of like I think like one of the interesting things that they explore in this movie is that like nothing happens for no reason. It's
Right.
like every little thing is leading to something. Signs
Yeah.
are all leading to something grander.
Well, yeah, that's the speech that Mel Gibson gives later on. Is like, there's 2 types of people in the world. Are you the one that believes in signs, or
Yeah.
it's really plays into the story. Really
Yeah.
well.
It's so good.
But they're putting all that stuff in there. Like every single character plays a part
yeah.
for like the conclusion of the movie, and it's all set up in this little section, which again, in lesser hands, could have been awfully boring.
Yeah.
But he uses it very efficiently. So
Yeah, and then I also love so the next scene, the family are together, right, and they're eating, and that's when they spot Ray Reddy, played by M.Night Shyamalan. And later we find out he's the one that killed Graham's wife and stuff because they just all stop eating, right? They pause and watch as he drives off. What's going?
it'd just be really funny if, as he was like leaving the parking lot, he accidentally ran over someone else's mother. He's like, "Oh no, not again!" And then he pulls ahead, and then he runs over another mother.
He's like, I'm fully awake. I'm fully awake
Why
now.
does this keep happening to me?
This is. He pulls forward, hits someone, backs up, hits
Another
someone,
person.
pulls forward again, and almost, yeah. No, but I love that the family, they all like,
All I can think about is like, imagine if like instead of when he got in the car, he just gunned it and drove straight into the restaurant where they were sitting. He's like, I gotta finish the job.
they're all
I'm a
pinned.
completist.
Imagine if that's when the movie ended right there.
They're all pinned against the counter, and they're like, "Ah!"
And then like a waiter comes over and drops their bill in front of them. Cut to credits.
Mel Gibson's like, don't back up, don't back up, don't back up.
We just made a better film.
Yeah, I think that's a good ending. Alternate scene. But I do like what's going on here. So they see him, they all pause, and I feel like the family itself is like paused by that tragedy, right? And the sighting of him pauses them in that moment. They're all eating and kind of like talking about like small talk, right? They see him, they all like pause, and I think that's like a reflection of where they are. As a family, they're just like on pause right now. There's nothing kind of moving them forward at this point, right? So I thought that's just like a really strong, effective scene.
Also,
but I
like,
do
the
wish
fact that
M. Night-
like how like they went into town to get their mind off of things, not worry about like the
Right.
troubles that are going on and like the stuff that they're dealing with, and then you see that it's just a giant reminder of like what we're
past.
trying to
Yeah.
trying to avoid dealing with right now.
So that's when they get home, and this is a great scene because they're in the car, and Morgan, played by Rory Culkin, he's using the baby monitor and it's picking up like signals, and at first both Meryl and Graham are like no like that's pretty dumb, that's
Mel
pretty
Gibson
stupid.
says it's like it's just probably another baby monitor.
Yeah, it's just like another, and And I think the scene is great because we just saw where in the town they're all divided, right? But at one point, Morgan is really pushing for like the signal to come in stronger, and they all kind of have to like hold hands to make it happen.
Yeah, because they're
And
like,
that's-
Right.
It's like they're all like,
One giant antenna.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that and it's almost like symbolic too. It's like they're stronger when they're together.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so it's like, even though this alien invasion is happening, it's happening at a time where it's bringing them together more, where they were kind of like still grieving and still going through stuff. And so I love that the town, you see that, right? But when they get home, this thing is happening and they're all together on top of the car trying to like have that come down. You know?
Can I rewrite the synopsis for this movie?
Yeah, absolutely.
An alien invasion helps a family deal with grief,
Yeah.
right?
100%.
Sum it all up.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's so weird though, because when I watched this movie when I was younger, I was like, wow, what a great alien invasion kind of creepy thriller horror movie. And then watching it now, I'm like, wow, what a like deep movie about grief.
It's like I'm an adult now and I notice things.
This is about grief, you know.
I've lost people. This hits really hard.
This fucking hits. So that night, their dog.
I do like when they're in the car, by the way.
Yeah.
And Meryl does that breakdown of all like the nerds.
Yeah, he's like, oh, it's nerd stuff. Yeah, I do love that.
He's just
He's
like,
so
oh, it's like
great.
nerdy conspiracy theories. And again, I'm like, dude, wait till
I
2025.
know. We get the turnaround. We're now.
Everything's a conspiracy theory now.
So that night, their dog is barking like crazy, Isabel, and it's creeping Graham out. So he goes to check on the dog, and he kind of has like this uneasy feeling, and he just decides to pull out like his flashlight and check out the cornfield. So he walks into the cornfield, and as he's walking through, he yells. He's like, "All right, whoever it is, we're not falling for it. We're not going to report it to the news. It's bullshit. We don't believe it."
He's like, I'm not going to report you. You're not going to get famous.
Yeah.
So then in my notes, it says, wait until 2025's Destroy a Hardworking Farmer's Cornfield Challenge.
Oh no, for TikTok.
It's coming.
No. We're out here destroying good crops.
What did you do to my corn?
What'd you do to my corn? Shut up, Mr. Grumble Snitch. So he goes into the cornfield, and there's this great moment where he hears it like right behind him, and then he turns around. He doesn't see anything, and then he drops the flashlight, and he picks it up. And when he picks it up, you just see a leg and arm kind of like go into the cornfield like a gray alien, just walks slowly into the cornfield, and he freaks out and runs back home.
I think I'd never recover from that.
I'd be like, what the hell? I would definitely take off.
We're
Like,
moving.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get out
Well,
of here.
I guess it's kind of the frightening thing, isn't it? Like, there really isn't anywhere you could go.
right.
Because it's like they show all those, like, those ships
Are like
hovering over the
circling
city.
over the major cities.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, wait till 2025 in New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh no.
Remember
It's
that?
just drones. so when he returns home, he finally agrees. He's like, okay, you know what? Let's turn the TV back on. So they turn on the TV. They see reports all over the world of different UFO sightings and stuff. And the kids are kind of, I love that scene where he's like, we have to tape this. Like the little kid, Morgan, he's like, we got to tape this. And she's like, it's my ballerina
It's
recital.
my dance recital.
Yeah.
Don't tape over that.
Yeah.
And he's just like, well, this is more important than your dance.
And he has like that little moment where it's like, this is scientifically the most important thing that's going to happen to our world. And
He's like, everything they wrote about in science books is about to change.
yes, yeah.
But she's like, my dance recital.
My
She pulls
dance
it back.
recital, yeah.
And it's like, they record over Meryl's like swimsuit contest tape.
It's like, find another tape. He's like, I'm gonna use your tape, Uncle Meryl.
Yeah.
And all you say is like swimsuit babes. I think it's like written
Yeah.
on the
Meryl's a really funny character.
not that one.
No, wait a minute.
Not that one, guys.
He didn't do a very good job of hiding that either. If the kid found it
No.
so easily, like you got to know that's out in plain sight in the living room.
Can we record over some of Meryl's stacks of porn? No.
No.
That's the one thing we're missing from the movie is the stack of Meryl's porn. In the corner.
He's like, that stack over there is June's porn. That stack over there is July.
Just stacks upon stacks of just VHS porn tapes. That would be great.
You walk in his room, it's just stacks of VHS tapes.
No wonder he just pulled whatever he found first.
This is why he doesn't live in the house. He has that. He lives out in that little spot.
Yeah.
There's a deleted scene where Graham's like, if you're gonna live this way, you're gonna go live out in the barn. Like an animal.
It's like, I have to keep these arms in shape somehow.
That's how he got so strong.
That's why he swings so well.
I tried out the masturbation challenge.
All right. Meryl. But yeah, so a little bit later, the kids fall asleep, and Meryl and Graham have this great discussion of like the two groups of people that you brought up earlier, where the group one are the people who see signs and believe in a higher power and like see the ships and they think it's like a miracle, right? And then group two, where he kind of feels where he's at, Graham, Mel Gibson's character, it's just luck of the draw, and that they're on their own, and I love that we get this like little Meryl gem at one point about the miracle of not kissing a girl who threw up.
Yeah.
And I love that because he's like, oh man, one time I was at this party and like Ginny Slater was there, and she's so pretty, and I was gonna go kiss her, and she got really drunk, and I got distracted for a second, and I turned
Take
around
gum out of his mouth.
to take gum out of my mouth, and then she just threw up, and if that didn't happen, like she would have threw up on my face, right? And he's like, it's a miracle.
I believe in miracles.
I believe in miracles. But I love
I never would have gotten over that.
Yeah. But I love that scene because it really is showing like where the family is personally, like Meryl, the kids are in that group one, and he's like Mel Gibson, even though he was on the same page for a second, he still feels like he's on, group two.
Yeah, the last thing he says is, we are all on our own.
Yeah.
And I really wanted a wide shot where the kids just started crying.
And at this point, no. Yeah. But Graham says, like, he's like, how I came to be this way. He said that Colleen, his wife, her last words were see and swing away, Meryl, right? And he's like, so in the last moments of her life, I couldn't have like a conversation with her because her mind started to like slip away because she was dying.
He said like all the neurons were firing.
Our neurons
around
are
her
firing,
brain.
and an old memory of you playing baseball was what came back to her before she passed.
Yeah. And that is what, kind of left Graham devastated and with his disbelief of like a higher power. And it just,
it's like really like a hard situation for someone like that.
oh my God. Yeah.
Because in a sense, he's almost like Job.
Oh,
If you wanna
100%.
go,
Yeah.
like,
Like they
biblical for a minute.
take everything away.
Yeah.
Like, and he still had his faith. So he ends up getting like what mattered in the end was actually the faith, not the physical things that he had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it definitely is like Job. So Graham wakes up the next day and he finds Meryl watching the TV in the closet. And Meryl says schools are closed. And he's like, oh, yeah, and there was this bird, and they showed it before, but all the ships disappeared. Like, they're in, like, a camouflage where we can't see them. But this bird flew into it, and it fell. Like, you just see it. I was like, he gets really into detail about the bird.
Wouldn't it be really funny if they, like, interviewed the bird afterwards? It's like, I didn't see it coming. It was some real weird
They
shit.
couldn't. It was dead.
No, you just had, like, a little sling on. And
Yeah, oh, yeah, he just broke away.
You see, what happened was I was flying, and then all of a sudden, boom.
That's what happened. Every word.
See, I was on my way to get some worms, right? And I know this good watering hole down the road, so I was on my way, and I was just
As I normally do.
as I fly with my friend Tony, but Tony didn't come today, and now I'm left with a broken arm, and Tony's out there eating worms.
Hey, can I just say hi to my wife real quick? Hey, Betty, I'm on TV.
So, yeah, we see, Graham then finds the kids wearing tinfoil hats. He goes up to the room and he kind of hears them chatting back and forth. And when he goes in, he sees the two kids. They have the tinfoil hats on, and they're reading the book that he got from the library. And this book is all about aliens, and Morgan thinks aliens are here to harvest the resources on the planet. And I love that at one point, like you said before, Mel Gibson was like, he kind of makes fun of it. And he's like, well, fine, you can't read the book. And he's like, okay, I was out of line.
He's like, you had a tone.
You had a tone. Yeah. And it's such a great scene. Like little scenes like that, and it just feels very natural.
It makes you care about the family.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like little moments.
Especially when they make the connection in the book, like how the house looks exactly like their house, too.
And I love that, like, they
foreshadowing?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's just like a dad. There's like dad in the yard with his two dead kids, and you're just like, well, it's a little on the nose.
What?
And then it was real weird is that there was also like off to the side, there were all these stacks of VHS porn.
Yeah.
It was really on the nose.
I thought that was weird. But I read that.
And there's a sign on the barn door that says, do not disturb.
Do not disturb. I wonder what that's for.
Meryl, what are you doing? Come back later.
I'm busy.
I'm working out.
Daryl, Meryl, what are you doing in there? Shut up.
Shut up. I'm working. I got hay. I got hay in here. Okay. So
damn kid taped over this one too.
God damn it!
You recorded over all my days.
What if Graham was like, get out of your masturbation station and get out here?
He's in the masturbation chamber.
It's like, what? Oh no. So, oh, by the way, some of the drawings in that are actually from M.Night's daughter, Salika.
Oh, really?
The
From
star
Trap?
of Trap, yeah. So Graham suspects that he gets a call, right? And he hears father, and then someone hangs up. So he suspects it was
aliens have figured out prank calling. Is your refrigerator running?
We know what Meryl's doing in the bar.
Yeah. We borrow Meryl's tapes.
We have all his DNA. Now we need yours.
We found all of his DNA in a sock.
When they were doing reconnaissance, they saw what Meryl was doing, and they're like, we got to get off this fucking planet.
Wait. Maybe we should see what he's doing. He looks like he's really enjoying himself.
We got to collect these for somebody, right? I'm sure all the Dr. Aliens up there are going to go crazy for this shit.
What am I going to do with this?
So, anyways, he gets a call, and he suspects that it's Ray Reddy. And Ray Reddy is the guy that accidentally killed Graham's wife. So he heads over to his home. And when he gets there, he notices that the office inside, like he kind of looks in the window and sees the office is kind of trashed. Like there's stuff all like thrown all over. And then he notices behind him that Reddy is already like in his car. And so Graham goes over to talk to Ray Reddy.
I love this scene, by the way.
Yeah. And Ray Reddy kind of talks about like, miles upon miles I'm driving and I just happened to fall asleep. Like I could have ended up in any ditch on the side of the road and just have like a headache later. But it's almost like it was meant to happen that I fell asleep at that moment and hit your wife, right? And he's bearing this guilt.
It's like it was almost like it was meant to happen.
Yeah. And he feels this guilt and he's like, I had your number for like a year and I wanted to call you. I couldn't get to it, right? Like he's like, I always wanted to have that conversation with you, and I feel like now that the world is ending, I just wanted to kind of like repent, right, and say I'm
kind of
sorry.
like what happened with the girl in the pharmacy,
Right. And then also like he talks about like how as he, all the stuff that happened and how he basically is saying, I feel guilty about what happened, right? And I'm really sorry I kind of tore your family apart. And
Sorry for what I did to you and yours.
you and yours, yeah. And you could see like he can't even look Mel Gibson in the eye. I have to give him credit. Like his acting is like really good.
Really, really good.
Because he's like trying to, but he like will lift his eyes very subtly and almost
like he's trying to peer over, but he can't.
But he can't. Like the guilt is like weighing on him so bad, and
he realizes that like that one action,
right?
Because he's like a veterinarian, right?
Yeah, he's a vet.
So it's like this person who's probably spent their entire life doing good had one moment that cost this man everything and his children everything. It destroyed
a family.
Yeah, and he's basically just saying like, if this is Judgment Day, he's like, I don't think there's a place in heaven for a person who kills the wife of a reverend or a priest. And that's so sad.
I know. It's such a great scene, and it kind of goes into like him talking about that, right? And sorry, let me take a drink. It is.
EJ's been drinking a lot lately.
It's sad. No, but no, he talks about that, and then he's like, I caught one of them in the pantry.
There's also real quick before he says that, there's a really, really wonderful bit of acting from Mel Gibson.
Oh, I know.
It's like he's just trying to
like get the like I forgive you, but I
feel
like he wants to say something but he can't.
And that scene, it's like the forgiveness scene. It's like these two people finally together, and it's like he just is trying to get those words out because he is a good man. And it's like he wants to say like, I forgive you,
ruined my life and all this stuff. But also like I forgive you. But he can't say it. It's like how he can't look at him. And then at one moment, they finally do have like that, connect like eye to eye. And I think it's crazy because he says, I had your number for a year. I came across one of the aliens. I locked it in the pantry and I freaked out. And the only number, I just called your number. Like immediately.
That's the fun thing. Is like if there's an alien in your house, you don't call 911 or anything. No, I'm going to call Mel Gibson.
He also decided to mention that at the end. If I had an alien in my pantry, it would be the first thing I brought up. I'd be like, crazy day.
I love that.
While I have you here, let's see if I can say I'm sorry.
That's
for
the
ruining
interesting
your life.
part about that scene too. Is like it's a heartfelt scene. You get all serious and that, and then right at the end, he just throws it. Oh, by the way, I got one locked in my pantry, and just drives away. You're just like, okay, now we had this emotional scene. Now we're flipping the script, and now everyone's just going to be anxious for the next 10 minutes because that whole build up and everything about him going into the house and approaching the door and talking to the door, and you just see all you see is the shadow of the thing just walking back and forth, and as soon as he starts talking, he gets that it just stops. And I just remember in the theaters, I'm just sitting there and I was getting goosebumps. I was like, what's gonna happen? That scene alone still freaked me out. Like, I'm sure it scared everyone. That was probably one of the scenes you were talking about, like people screaming and stuff like that when the hand comes out.
So good.
We get like, before he goes into the pantry, like basically he's kind of like confessing like, I had your number memorized to the point where when I picked up the phone, I dialed your number, right?
Like it just came naturally.
Yeah, it just like came natural. Like you're the first person I called. Why? Like he doesn't even understand that. Like he's like, I had your number for a year. I picked up the phone. I just naturally called your number.
Can I take a stab at something as to why that is? They show a shot and he's bleeding.
Oh yeah, he has blood on him. Yeah.
And I know he says he's going to go by the water or something. Like
he has a theory
that about how the aliens maybe don't like water.
Yeah.
But like he is bleeding in a very bad spot, so maybe it's like maybe he doesn't make it. Like maybe he knows he's on his way out, and it's sort of like, what is it that you want to do before you leave this earth? Is make right with the person that you took everything from.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what his ultimate fate was, but I'm like, why else show that?
Yeah.
That's a good point too, because like they never go back to him after that point. Like after he drives away, that's the last you see of him in the movie. So does he make it? Does he not? You don't know.
Yeah. Like if he was just gonna like pack up and leave.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just do that, but like it looks like he's wounded and he's bleeding a lot, and it's like maybe it's just like in that moment where it's maybe that's what he's talking about. It's like maybe like at the end you're the only person that I can think of because you're the only person that I want to make right because I took everything from you, and it's like I don't want to go into the next life with that. You know what I mean? Like I want to
just gonna
say
fall
I'm
asleep at the
sorry.
wheel again.
Yeah.
He's like
drives
oh
away.
my god.
He's bleeding out, and then he passes, and he's because he drove away bleeding because you pointed it out. He was bleeding, so he starts driving.
What a button that would have been for that scene if he just starts driving away, and then like you just see him like fall over in the cab, like he just passes out, and there's like this lady on a bike, and he just veers into her.
Yeah, and just takes her out. No, I think the scene is great because there's so much to the scene, right? Like, first off, it's a like about forgiveness, right? Like the core of that, I think, is about kind of coming to terms with each other and having like that moment of forgiveness.
But it's also not Hollywood bullshitty forgiveness, because and again, it's just something with Mel Gibson being able to convey this. It's so hard for him to just even get a word out. Because like a lot of times in like movies, they might just like look at him. He's like, "Yeah, I forgive you."
Right.
I've had a lot of time to think about this. I know you didn't mean to do it. You know, you fell asleep. You were probably overworked. But it's just kind of like it's not that easy in life to just be like, I remember waking up every single day with this person that I loved, and you took that from me.
Yeah.
You took my kid's mother away. It's like, it's not that easy. But it's like there is an error of forgiveness as he's driving away.
Oh, 100%.
And right before he hits that lady on the bike.
Yeah. And the other thing, like, you could, like, we get to take away from the scene, too, is not only is it about, like, the forgiveness, but it plants the idea to Mel Gibson, like, I don't think they like water, right? Like, so he gets, like...
Coffee drinkers, those guys.
Yeah. You know, don't get them lattes.
But they love Coke. They love soda.
Coke. Yeah. But, like, he basically, Ray Reddy says, I have a feeling they don't like water. So it kind of plants the seed of, like, maybe that's a weakness, right? And then, also, when he goes into that pantry, he witnesses it for real. Like, finally actually witnesses it. And...
It's a great thing, too, because it starts off with that Shyamalan comedy. Where he's just kind of like, he's like, oh, I'm Officer so-and-so. He's like,
we have it surrounded.
We've got your partner in the paddy wagon. And I don't know why, but whenever I think of this movie, I picture Mel Gibson saying the words paddy wagon. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I just remember hearing that in the theater and laughing endlessly over it. But I love, it's one of my favorite types of suspense sequences.
Yeah.
I love how he gets the knife and he goes to the pantry and he kind of puts it underneath the crack so that he can like see the reflection of the alien in there.
Yeah.
He doesn't see it. So then he's just like, fuck this, I'm leaving. And then he goes he's just like, shit, I can't leave yet. I have to see it. And then he goes back, sticks a knife under, and then the hand comes out.
Yeah.
And it's so startling.
You don't even get a chance because it's like it just happens immediately. He doesn't even get it under the door. The hand just comes
shoots
right out.
Yeah.
And he like cuts the finger, like two fingers off.
Screams in that like weird otherworldly scream.
Yeah. And he just knows. Like it was like the proof right there that this alien exists. So not only did Ray Reddy kind of set him up later on, like in good, right? Where Ray Reddy, they have that moment of forgiveness, which
That's also
kinda
driving the plot forward.
super important for his character, but also like he finds out like they're real and possibly have a weakness too. So that scene is insane because it sets up like so much, and it's an emotionally driven scene. It's not like I found this out and this out, you know. It's not like an informative scene. It's more of like an emotional scene, but at the same time it has like those informative moments too. But anyways, meanwhile, while this is happening at Ray Reddy's house, we cut to Meryl, who's watching the clip of the alien at the birthday party.
Did you find it weird when the alien walked by and he was just eating a piece of cake?
Yeah.
All the kids were screaming.
They're like, ah! No, but
He took our cake! I'm taking this back to the mothership.
taking this back.
They've got ice cream cake.
I wonder what the ones on the farm have. We just have jizz. That's Whoa, what is this stuff? Oh, this
God
is cake.
damn it, Mel.
This ice cream cake tastes better than what we found in the barn.
Oh, no. So we
This
see
icing tastes funny.
Yeah, we don't like this one. So the
Meryl was filming me while I ate it.
what the fuck is wrong with Meryl?
It's got a dark secret.
So yeah, we get this great jump scene, and like I said, the theater literally erupted. Like everyone jumped. It was insane, and I just like the idea that like an alien just was like, what? Why are these people gathered here, like singing right now? And he's just like watching this birthday party, and then he's like, okay, time to bounce, and he like leaves. But that scene when he like literally walks out from and into the alleyway, man, it's kind of like the Exorcist 3 scene, you know, like it kind of builds up and builds up. And then you finally see it, and you still get creeped out.
Yeah,
it's so good
stuff.
I like how they rewound it, and then they pause it like right there, and you're just like just sitting there with that blurry image of it, and you're just sitting there like, I don't know how to process this right now.
Yeah, I love when Meryl's like screaming out. He's like, "Kids, vamonos,
Vamonos, kids.
get out of here, get out of here!"
I don't care. It's your birthday. Get out of here.
Yeah, and then his reaction when he sees it, I mean, he just like hops up out of his seat against the wall, like, oh my god, holy shit.
But then he moves back closer to the screen when they do the freeze frame on it and everything. I like going back and rewatching that scene too, because the more like you rewatch it, all the details you may have not caught like the first time you watched. Because I honestly didn't. I didn't see the alien walk out until it actually walked out. But if you actually look closely, you can actually see the alien there in that spot before
bushes,
it walks out. So I'm like, I never noticed that before. And, then, and you look closer, and I'm like, oh shit!
It's so good
because of how they blend in so well. It's just
it's such a great scene. And so when Graham gets home, he sees that's when he walks in, and all three, Meryl and the two kids, are sitting on the couch, all with their like
tinfoil hats.
Yeah, tinfoil hats.
If one image could sum up the year 2025.
Yeah, seriously. No, but I love that, like how Meryl's just sitting with the kids, and he's like fully I don't want them to control my mind. You know, like he is totally bought into this idea of like everything about the aliens are true.
Was that like in the book?
Yeah, I think that's what
Chapter 5.
Rory Culkin was saying. Like part of it is like they could read our minds, but if you wear like tinfoil, it should be okay. I don't know, but I do like that Graham tells his family that he saw one, right? And he's like, okay, let's do a vote. I heard that they might be afraid of water, so should we go to the lake, or should we stay here at the house? And it's like a 2-2 vote. And
he's like, I get 2 votes because I'm 2 parents or whatever.
Yeah, I'm doing
my vote count is 2 because I'm the parent.
And he finally admits to like, I saw one. You know, it's real. I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe, right? Key word. I can't believe this is happening. But as soon as he says that word, he believes in the weakness that it might have. Like, you know what I mean? So he's like so ready to like leave the house, where we have the youngest son, Morgan, he's kind of like, no, I want to stay here because this is our home.
This is where Mom lived. This is where we lived with Mom, and it's like, we don't want to leave her. We don't want to run from her.
Yeah.
There's like little things happening in this scene right here that's kind of like kind of culminates later on. But it's like we don't want to like leave the things that, you know, remind us of our mother and like our family, like the better times. Like we want to.
It gives them like a type of security too, because like, you know, that's instead of going someplace where they don't know what's going to happen, at least they're in a place where it's their home. You know?
There's definitely a part of that, but it's also just kind of like them wanting to fight for like the memories that they had in that house. Like they don't want to like leave it. It's like, this is where we belong. This is ours. And it's like, we don't want to run from it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I changed my vote. He's like, I can't change your vote.
Can't change
Can't
votes.
change your vote.
The fuck I can.
But that Abigail Breslin crushes in this movie. Like, she's so funny. But I love that scene where she's like, I changed my vote, and because she's always sticking with her brother. Like, she's with her brother no matter what, and I love that. So they decide to board up the house, and then I love the scene where as they're doing this, and at one point they see on the news that sorry, the ice machine went off.
It's okay.
So the family...
The ice machine's been trying to get on the show for
I know,
a couple
for
years.
so long. I also noticed, not until like this is the very last point, but the house is red, white, and blue, and it's like kind of funny because it's like an all-American family,
Sure.
right? But it's not. It's like a modern family now, and I love that dynamic of like two brothers, because you don't really get a lot of that kind of relationship in movies, especially in that kind of circumstance. I mean, technically Full House. I guess this is like Full House, right?
Very much like-
Everywhere you look, there's an alien.
Imagine, I was gonna say, you imagine M. Night going to the studios and is like, all right, picture this, Full House, but aliens.
Yeah. But aliens.
I would yeah, I'm in. Here's $1 billion.
Here's $1 billion.
Bring me back some footage.
So we have an Uncle Jesse. Uncle Merrill. Is he into Elvis? He's into
Jack
Don't ask about what he's doing in the bar.
Don't worry about it. That was a Joaquin choice. No, but as they are watching like the last of the news reports, the family boards up the house, and Morgan is like, I was wrong, Dad. These are hostile aliens. Like, they're getting ready to actually attack. It's not to, get our resources or anything like that. I think they're actually just hostile aliens. And I love, to keep in budget, we see like the human side of this storytelling, right? Like, it's all here on the farmhouse, and they're making their last stand. And on the news, and using media effectively to see like what's going on the outside world and how they're preparing for their last stand, but we're only getting it from like the perspective of this like family.
And like also like realistically, because I'm sure like what they're seeing has tanks and means to protect yourself. They're like, we've got a hammer and a light bulb, and we got some things of dog food.
Like a hammer?
One can of Alpo or something. Yeah, they're very ill-equipped.
Meryl's porn.
Thank God we have that.
When the alien tries to grab Rory Culkin and they like kind of block off the area, that was all just Meryl's porn. We can't get through. There's too much.
That's what he should have.
He used his August porn.
That's what he should have used.
With all his
That's what he
porn.
should have used to cover the grate instead of the dog footage. All of Meryl's porn.
Oh man.
His September porn, our only weakness.
Yeah. My only weakness. So Graham and the family, he's like, what do you want for dinner? And he goes around and they all pick like almost like their last meal, right? Like they're on death row. This is like their last meal. And so the daughter picks spaghetti. The son picks like French toast with
and
mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And the teriyaki chicken, Meryl. And but they all pick their own dinner. So
I'm gonna eat mine in my room.
yeah. And then at dinner we see Morgan is like, hey, Dad, could you pray? Right? And Graham refuses. And he's like, I don't want to waste one more minute on prayer. Like, I don't want to do it. And like you could see like the family is kind of like
unraveling at this point. Like they're all very like scared and they need him to step up and comfort them.
Right. And he just can't like shake his anger.
Yeah, he's like torn
you know?
between his duty and like his heart.
Yeah, because now I think that all the blame that he did have on Reddy just like shifted even more so to God. So it's just like even pent up even more.
I spent my life serving you and you took this person from me. Like, how am I supposed to have faith? How can I comfort you with something that I can't connect with?
Right. And he has like this really heated moment where he's like yelling about why he doesn't want to pray. And that's when like the son realizes like, oh, dad's just scared like we all are.
And this is just
how
like
he's acting out.
This is just like when you're like, this is a great movie.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I love this moment so much because like he's just trying to, just try to control what he's feeling. He's like trying to push back those feelings, and finally it all just like washes over him, and like he just starts crying, and it's weird to see him like that. But then like his son sees, he's just like, oh, dad's in pain, and he just goes over to comfort him, and then
They all
the
hug.
daughter, like Bo, goes to hug him, and then they pull over Meryl.
I love that. Like that's such an emotional scene, but then there's the comedy in it too. You just see his arm just reach out and just grab him, and Meryl's just kind of like, okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yeah, because like separate, and those chairs, like they're all like sitting away from each other, and they're like distant, and they're scared. But it's like there's like when they all get pulled together and they're holding each other, it's like they feel secure. It's like they all want comfort, and there it is. It's comfort. Just letting it in, letting each other in, and just being like, you're scared, I'm scared, but we're in this together.
Yeah.
It's so fucking beautiful. That's one of the points where I was watching. I'm actually tearing up right now talking about it. No, there was like a moment when I was watching where I'm just like, God, it's like a beautiful movie.
Man, it's crazy. Like this scene in particular, they're like he's yelling and he's like, I hate, right? Like he has all this. He's filled with,
and then he tries to mask it by like just reaching out and grabbing other people's food. He's like, "Oh, if you're not gonna eat it, well, I will." And he starts going, and then
I've done that.
And you just see him like as he's doing it, he's just like slowly breaking down, like more and more and more. And that's when the kids like run to him, like this is like you said, they realize
he's just scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I do like when Mel Gibson looks at Bo and he's like, "Stop crying,
stop crying, you little bastard." No, yeah, again, it is funny because it's like this alien invasion that just this family felt so separated, right? And like it's just bringing them closer, and like that grief that they did not talk about. I mean, like kind of like he just let it out right there, right? And it kind of brings them together.
What if that was the aliens' whole agenda?
Yeah, they're like, we're really good at family counseling.
They just kind of like pull back, and you see like the aliens outside, and they're all like watching the family like hug. He's like, we did a good thing. Yeah, we did a good thing.
We did it.
Yeah,
we can go now.
We're here for this one family.
Yeah.
And this stack of September porn.
Oh, yeah. So that's when we hear the TV signal goes down, right? Like the TV that was like kind of like you could hear it in the background a little bit. Finally has that like dead signal, like off air signal. And even the baby monitor too. And that's when they were like, okay, let's literally like board up the last of the house.
There's an interesting thing that happens a couple of times in the movie. I wanted to mention it, but it jumped out at me the most here. There's a part where Mel Gibson goes to the window, and there's this like wavy, watery looking effect that goes over the scene for some reason. It happens a couple of different times, but it's like subconsciously putting into your head that water has something to do with it, even though the movie tells you straight out that water has something to do with it. But hey, we'll get it verbally and visually.
Yeah.
I thought that was neat because it happens, I think, like 3 different times.
It's like, why do we have to board up the windows? Well, apparently they have problems with pantry doors. Another weakness.
Yeah, I love that.
We found another water and pantry doors.
They seem kind of inept. Like one gets stuck in a pantry.
Yeah, like how?
Why are you afraid of that thing?
Apparently they don't have doors where they come from.
We're big fans of the Three Stooges.
Well, I think he didn't get stuck. He was just like, there's a lot of fucking food in here.
Holy shit.
Let's go.
You got Twinkies?
So the family realizes the alien or aliens are there, and I love the sound design of hearing the creature, like the aliens outside, and you kind of see like their shadows a little bit.
Yeah, you don't see them; you just see the shadows of them and the sound of them clicking, like how their feet are clicking across the porch. It's creepy.
It's creepy. And I love how like the silhouette of them kind of coming through, like their shadow coming through. and through the boards of the window, and it's just so visually cool, and
And it's cool because
sounds
the camera
awesome.
tracks it too. It's like the camera's just moving along with them as they're moving.
And then it'll cut to the family kind of like following the camera movement of before.
That's very like Hitchcockian.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And that it's just such a awesome directing in this movie.
Until this thing happens where I'm like, fuck this family. They
What?
forgot the dog.
I know.
What the fuck? That would be like
Poor Isabel. I know.
that would be my first thought. I'd be like, I would remember the dog before I remember the kids.
Yeah. And why not bring the dog in to
What
protect
a
you?
stupid idea.
What the hell is that?
That dog should have had a better ending. It
Yeah.
should have the dog should have been like pumping a shotgun and shooting the aliens.
It's like,
He's like, get in the basement. It's bullshit.
I came here to kick ass and chew dog biscuits, and I'm all out of dog biscuits.
Treat. It's okay. Get in
It's
the
all right.
basement.
So, at this point, as these aliens are kind of like on the outside, I love that Graham is telling each of the kids. I got like really emotional, especially for the son.
Yeah.
He's like, on the day you were born, he's telling Bo, like, all the like nurses were like, "Oh, she looks like an angel. Like she has these big eyes,
giant eyes."
Yeah, and then, oh my god, when he talks about Morgan's birth, I got like really emotional for that.
It's
And
like your mom says, like, you look exactly how I dreamed you would.
yeah, she dreamed about you for such a long time, and she wanted to see you like right away. And so I took her over to see, and I was like, "Oh my god, this hurts." It's so good. It's such a great scene. But I love that, like,
And that just that performance too from Mel Gibson, like that kindness and warmth and like love in those words.
yeah, because he just wants them to know, like, have that comfort of like how much him and his mom love them.
Yeah, like no matter what happens, like you're loved.
Yeah.
Like no matter.
Yeah, it's emotional.
I feel like they missed an opportunity. This is when he should have approached Meryl about his porn addiction.
And Meryl,
She wanted you to leave.
she was not comfortable with you.
She actually went out onto the road because she was so disgusted by what she found.
That's why she went for a walk that
A
night.
lot of this is her fault.
Yeah, she was not crazy about that.
She needed to clear her thoughts.
So then the family goes to the basement, and because they hear like the aliens, and they're like, "Oh no, the attic! They're gonna get through." So they run to the basement. They lock themselves in, and at one point they realize there's a coal chute, right? And
This whole sequence is
it's
just
so good.
like it's like master level suspense
yeah,
storytelling. It's just like the what you don't see, what you do see. It's like there's so much confidence and control in that camera work. Like I just remember being in a theater. I was probably like 16 at the time, 15, 16, and just being like on the edge of my seat. And like the times where like you don't see the family, you just kind of hear them scrambling and like screaming and stuff, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening to them?
and the one like, well, the alien, its hand is already out. Like I love that because it's like camouflage against the wall, so
Which
you
is
don't even
neat.
see
Yeah,
it.
you don't see it until it moves.
Until it moves and it grabs like the sun, right? Like Morgan. And then like they drop, the flashlights. And I love the way the one flashlight rolls on the ground to Bo, and she's just standing there like frightened. Such great filmmaking. Anyways, it grabs Morgan, and after they like have the scuffle, they get their flashlights back on, and we see that Meryl like boarded up the door with like a bunch of like soil or bags of soil.
It was like,
or
I think
something.
it was dog food, wasn't it?
Or dog food.
Yeah, it was like
It was
bags of
September's porn.
Yeah, and he just gets the can and he just puts it on top of it. Like, yeah, that's
That's a
what's
funny.
needed.
That's a funny little button for that.
Yeah, but we also cut to where Morgan is having this asthma attack, and
This is like one of the most beautiful scenes in a movie that I've seen in a very long time because I forgot about it.
Yeah.
I think the last time I saw this movie, I was a teenager, but just like him trying to get like Morgan to breathe in sync with him.
He's like, with me, and he's like,
It's like I want.
"All right."
That's so like powerful. Like
Yeah.
just like such a like simple shot.
The way he has him laying on his chest with his hand over his
yeah,
chest,
like over his
and
heart,
just
and just-
feels like, oh my god, like such a dad thing, right? Like it just feels
That's the most
Dad-
shot in
yeah.
any movie.
Right.
Just kind of like breathe with.
But
me.
then seeing like how he reacts to that too, after trying to help him, and then what he's going through and what he's dealing with, and it goes right into how angry he is. It's like, oh, you're gonna take my kid away too now.
Yeah,
don't
like-
do this to me again.
don't do this to me again. And it's
Just
funny
like, I
because
hate you.
we see, you know, like he's like, I hate you, I hate you, but he is having like to have that discussion. He has to believe again, right? Like he's believing in him again.
Well, like, do you-
in a
do you
way,
ever feel
right?
like-
Right.
Yeah.
It's like
is
he's
it more
I was
like
gonna
he
say
doesn't?
we're all alone when there's nobody out there for us, but yet he's talking to him. Then at that
Exactly.
point, it's like I thought you said you didn't believe in him anymore.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think it goes back to that one of the first shots in the movie where like the cross is taken down, but like there's still the
there.
image on the wall.
Yeah.
Like I think that's like in his character
Yeah, no, I think it's embedded,
summed up
like,
in a
it's-
shot.
Yeah, it's embedded into his character. Like God was in him the whole time. Like, and he always believed, but he just
felt
didn't want to.
Yeah, like he
Yeah.
just felt like there was just like a almost like renounced him.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And then,
I mean, that's just like a really like deep hurt. Like I can't even imagine that. Like you devote your life to like a higher power, like you're the servant of God, and then you probably just feel like, what did I do? Like there are much worse people in the world who like don't have anything happen to them, and it's like all I've done is love and worship you, and then you take away the most important pillar in this family.
right.
And it's like I could see somebody getting to that point, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But like I love that. I love the fact that he's just like we're all alone. Like we're like there's no one out there watching out for us, but it's like you could just see that he doesn't really believe that.
Right.
It's like he wants to
He
believe
wants
it. He's
to.
struggling to just believe that there's like that he's completely disconnected from his faith, but it's always there. It's always that faded cross on the wall.
And this is him, you know, like again talking to him probably for the first time in a long time, being like, I hate you, why would you do this to me again, you know? But I think it's just to also lead up to stuff later, a little bit later, where it's like
He's airing some
that faith
grievances.
is there. Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the first time he's like truly talked to God
Yeah.
in a long time.
And then, you know, we see where Morgan's breathing kind of, it comes back. Like he's kind of on the up and up. Well, like he's not like totally okay, but he has
Better
recovered.
than what he was.
Yeah. And we see, you know, it fades to black. And then because Meryl's like, oh, we should reserve the batteries and the flashlights. And we get to see what happened exactly to Colleen, where he like shows up. The sheriff tells him like he only has this last moment to like talk with his wife, so he's talking with her, and she's like, "Yeah, make sure to tell Bo this, tell Morgan, you know, this." And then when she's like, "Tell Graham," he's like, "I'm right here," you know. She's like, "See, tell Graham to see," and then Meryl, swing away, Meryl, right? And so he took that and interpreted it his own way, and not realize, like he just has this moment where then he wakes up from the nightmare again, because it's like this reliving nightmare. But this is the first time the audience gets to see like the full actual scene of it.
Yeah, because they only tease it like throughout the movie, just like
Right.
when he's approaching the scene where it happened. They don't
Yes.
show that until then. That's like so you get the full aspect of what happened.
Boy, when he cuts from that, he always knows the right point to pull away from that story. Because like I think one of the very first times he's like, "Are you telling me this is the last time I'm ever going to talk to my wife?"
Yeah,
Like that's just like, you know, that I don't know. It's like a second earlier, second later. It doesn't work, but it is a masterful cut.
and then when Graham wakes up, the radio is actually working again, and they're all still in the basement. And the radio basically, like Meryl's kind of like reiterating all the stuff he's heard already, and that the aliens came down, we fought back, a lot of lives were lost, They have a poisonous gas that is only like effective one time, for like a short use, and basically the aliens have left, and they even feel like, oh, maybe it's okay to go back up, especially because if Morgan has like another asthma attack,
Yeah, he needs his medicine.
he needs that like epidermal pin. Yeah. And so it seems all is well. They go upstairs. Meryl's like getting the stuff ready, like the medicine. And we see Graham put Morgan on the couch, and he goes to pull out the TV.
And this is an awesome reveal. This is such
so
a perfect
good.
reveal for that alien. Because he rolls the TV into shot, and then you see the reflection of the alien on the television, and it's just like, boom. Like, you're just like, fuck.
It's so good. And he's holding the kid, like he's holding Morgan in his arms with like the little, I don't know, like
Stem thing? Whatever
yeah,
that is?
whatever it is, where it'll shoot the gas out. Like it's dangerous, whatever it is, right? And
What if they like took it from like the alien's point of view, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna try to help your kid. Hold on, I got this healing gas.
Yeah.
Swing away, Meryl. Wait, what are you doing?
no.
Why are you holding it back? Can you put that down?
I'm actually a doctor on the planet."
But as like he's holding Morgan there, right? This alien, he notices kind of like his hand blends into Morgan's shirt, but it's missing the two fingers that he would have chopped off.
Do you find out this is the
And
this is the one in the pantry, which
He would have been left behind. Like he got out of the pantry, but all his, other aliens probably took off without him. And then he is like attacking this family because he's left behind. But I love
We
that.
only take aliens with 10 fingers home.
Sorry, lefty.
Sorry, lefty's getting left behind.
So as he sees this, right, Graham actually has this moment, and it kind of flashes back to like a couple things that are like throughout the movie, right? Like it flashes to his wife saying, "Swing away, Meryl," see, make sure to see. And so he's starting to actually see. And he sees like the daughter has all the glasses of water around. The idea that he shoots the toxin into the kid's face, and he knows, he's like, oh, he has asthma. His lungs are like probably closed up, right? Like, and then
That's such a great detail.
Yeah, and then he
sees
sees
such a good detail.
And then Meryl standing at the doorway next to his baseball bat that's hung up on the wall, right? From like one of his whatever like games.
Well, he mentions it earlier with when he was in the military office that the bat that he has on the wall is the one that he hit the home run with, that he has the record for.
So he's standing right next to the bat, and he just is like, swing away, Meryl. Right? And he, I love the look Meryl. He's so fucking confused. He's like,
what are you talking
right.
about?
oh, what? Like,
You do it.
and he's like, swing away, Meryl. And I love the reveal of like how Meryl's like looks at him like confused, and he's like up to the bat, and it's just such a great like blocking and reveal. I don't know. It's
That's
so
such
good.
a funny movie thing, because like in real life you'd be like,
What the
Meryl,
fuck
hit that
are you
alien with the bat.
Yeah.
But so he's like, swing away. He's like, oh, a little more cryptic, please.
Yeah. But so we see Meryl grab the bat, and he, goes to attack the alien, and Mel Gibson grabs Morgan right away and runs out of the house with him, along with Bo, and we see Meryl hit like the glass. They kind of see the reveal that he bumps into a thing, and like water spills on him, and it burns his skin.
That's what our water does to us now.
Yeah. So Meryl just starts lighting up, like hitting all the glasses of water towards the alien, burning him. And eventually he gets like a good hit on him. He falls to the ground.
I think his plan is flawed.
Who, Meryl?
Yeah, I
Why?
would pick up the glass of water,
Yeah, and just be like,
throw it in his face,
Yeah.
and then whack it.
He's like, fuck it, you know what? I'm gonna just get some glass in this water as
Like,
well.
like it just feels like you hit the glass with the bat that the water is not exactly going to go in the direction you necessarily want it to.
Yeah.
Pick up the glass, throw the water on the alien,
And then
when
beat it
it's
to death.
done, and beat him yeah, and then pour the rest of the water on him.
And I love.
He doesn't know anything about being a thug like me. A greasy thug. That's what they used to call me in high school.
And I love that shot where the alien like falls and the water like spills all over its face. We don't see the effects of that, but we know it's
You see it from
not
like
good.
the alien's point of view of the water coming down
Like
and
just
hit-
pouring over its face. And then it just cuts to like Meryl's bat being broken in half. So he just like fucked this alien up. There should have been probably like alien blood on it or whatever, but that's fine. Whatever.
Sure.
But
That's a
There's
good point.
There's a budget. They didn't have
it's
it.
a budget, yeah. Plus, it's probably like a ratings thing. Oh, like if you show blood, we have to hike it up to
The
like,
blood camouflages.
Yeah,
That's
that's true. yeah.
true. That's what it is.
Speaking of that scene too, like when he looks around and all the glasses of water that are around there,
Yeah.
it made me think about going back and thinking about it. It's like, how many cups do they own in this house? Like that poor girl just leaves glasses everywhere. And it's just like we can't drink anything in this house because this little shit used all the glasses.
We gotta drink from the carton in this family.
But I do love the talking about the camouflage. When she screams, like seeing the alien, you kind of see her reflection on its back a little bit.
Right.
That's a great
It's neat.
visual too. Yeah. But
Also, his like I think the shirt is also like he's touching the kid's shirt.
Oh,
and
when
like,
he's
Yeah.
holding
Yeah,
it,
and
the
it's
kid, his hand starts blending in
Yeah,
with his.
it's
with
really
his
cool.
shirt.
That's so cool. But yeah, so as Meryl's like finished up with this alien, we see that Graham has Morgan outside. He's praying, and he's like, it all leads to him having asthma. His lungs closed up. The toxin didn't get in. And he's like praying and praying.
he believes that that kid's gonna live. That's
Yeah.
the nice thing. Like he really believes that at that point because he's
Right.
like, no, his lungs would have been closed. Like
yeah.
I love that.
Well, at that point, that's when he's completely convinced he's that other person now, believing in science. Everything
Yeah.
that happened led up to this particular point. So,
Yeah, and I love like that Meryl has the moment of a man of faith, a man of science, right? He has the man of science moment where he goes to check his pulse. He's like, no, I believe he's gonna be okay.
Awesome.
It's so dope, and we see like sure enough, he comes back, like he starts breathing, and he's like, what question does he ask? I forget what it was. Morgan says something like,
Did somebody save me or something?
Yeah.
He's like, I think someone did.
yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny at that point if like Ray Reddy just like pulled in and ran over?
there
I'm
he
here
is.
to help.
Hey, I'm here to fight the aliens.
He's like, oh no.
Sorry, this time I was drunk.
I lost a lot of blood, guys. But
I've been driving all night.
but I love that like they have this moment, and we then see all the seasons like have changed now, and it's like going into winter. And I love that reveal too, where it's like outside, it's in the summer, and then kind of goes towards the house, and the seasons change into winter now. And we see Mel Gibson, and he is
rocking his collar.
returned to his faith. There's pictures on the wall now of like a happy family,
And you hear them downstairs like laughing and
yeah, and
they're like healing.
yeah, and he has like this returned faith, and I love that he walks out. He has like the collar, and then it says directed by Michael Bay. What? No, I'm just kidding.
Lincoln Park kicks.
No, I'm just kidding. But this movie honestly was outstanding, and I forgot how great of a movie this really was. And man, I was just blown away. Like, it's crazy. I watched this movie maybe like 4 or 5 times, right? And this was maybe like my 6th time watching it. And now watching it as an adult, I just took away so much more from it. I don't know, man. I love this movie. Definitely would recommend it. I think it's really creepy and eerie, but also has like a lot of good character and story to it as well. How about you, Pat?
Oh man, great movie. It's always one of those movies too. Like when you see it on TV and you're not even like looking for something to watch. Like it's one of those ones I'll see if it's just I can't find something and it's on. I'll watch it. It's a good one. And I still like when I do rewatch and it just brings back those memories of being in the theater and being just scared with everyone because like at that point you just thought it was just going to be like a regular like it's an alien movie or whatever, and then it just like they really do push the envelope with how like they try to scare you, and also not by showing much either too.
Yeah. No, I think it's crazy. Like the movie, like going into it, and it's called Signs, and you think the crop circles,
But it takes on different meanings, that
Right.
title, and that's
Yeah.
a great movie. Like when your title is not just like superficially about crop circles,
right? Yeah.
it's about the like
The wider-
I just want to. It's so weird
Yeah.
to say it like this, but I think this is a very spiritual movie.
Yeah, I really do too. I feel like it's like spiritual, but like a thriller. It's very well rounded. It's just a well rounded movie, and it's kind of like, like we've talked about it a couple times now. Like I keep saying about the Thunderbolts, it's not a great movie, like a great MCU movie. It's just a great movie. I feel
Sure.
like it's really well rounded. It's like funny.
Did you see that?
I didn't get a chance to see it yet. No, I've been trying to see it for weeks, but then again, plans keep changing.
See it.
You-
It's
yeah, man,
so
it's-
good.
No,
It's
I'm
like-
definitely planning to. I haven't been in the movie theaters in a while. I think the last one I actually saw in theaters was Deadpool and Wolverine. I think that was the last movie I saw in theaters. So now when they released this, I was like, it got me excited. I'm like, I definitely want to go see this in theaters.
Yeah.
It's
That and the
a
next Mission
really,
Impossible movie as
really
well.
good
I
movie.
got to see that. And
Yeah.
can't wait.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Same. Same. But yeah, I would say I agree. This movie rocks. Rory, how about you?
My last note here says weirdly beautiful film. You know?
Yeah.
And I really was surprised by like there was a point in the movie. It's probably like the midpoint where this movie really started affecting me because like
Yeah.
it really does get very emotional. It's very like it's not afraid to like lean into what it's trying to say. It really is just like this thing about like grief and faith and like like how you can just interpret the world punching down on you as the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Like I like Graham's journey a lot in this movie, but kind of what I was just saying before. Like I just think it's a very like spiritual film, and it's a very very emotional, very 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 emotional movie. I was not expecting like the third act for me just to be like so like moved by it.
Yeah. I
know?
was like literally like not like heavy sobbing like when I saw Marley and Me, but like I was I was definitely tearing up way more than I remember even doing the first time. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just like I love the idea that it kind of puts this thing out there where it's like all the stuff that's happening all around you all the time. And I believe this. Like I really do believe this, that like, sometimes everything seems rather pointless and all these little things are happening, but they generally do lead to something.
Absolutely.
And so I think it's like a movie that really like perpetuates the whole like everything happens for a reason. You just have to look closely and not be so cynical. Like you'll find like this like beautiful thing going on in the world if you pay attention to it, if you can let yourself be a part of it. And like this movie, it's like these characters are more or less saved when they just start really tuning in to what's going on. And I just think that's like such an awesome thing. Because again, it's marketed as a sci-fi horror film. And it gives you that. Because there are points like when I was watching it for the first time where I was like, this is a very creepy, scary movie.
Yeah.
And then like that's what I would remember it being at a certain age.
Yeah, same. Like that's like all you took from it, but now
Yeah.
seeing it all
As
these
an
years
adult.
as an adult, you'd see it completely different, especially
Yeah.
all the different tones and everything.
Yeah.
It's almost like you walk like a million miles in your life, and then it's just like you get to a certain point, and you're like, oh, this means something more profound to me. And sometimes it's like I don't even know why this is affecting me so much. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But I loved it, and I 100% know it's my favorite like M.Night Shyamalan movie for sure.
Yeah.
And I just think it's like Meryl. It's a big home run of a movie.
Yeah.
So
What a crazy, incredible cast too. I feel like it's weird because Mark Ruffalo was originally supposed to play Meryl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he had to drop out, and then they got Joaquin Phoenix to do it. Right?
what a great grab.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and the weird thing when they're like side by side, just the family dynamic, it's like something you don't really see a lot of times where it's like two brothers.
You believe it. You
And-
believe that they actually are like brothers.
Yeah, they look
they have,
like
they have
they
that
would
chemistry
be.
that really works.
Yeah, and they look like they would actually be related, like brothers.
And also like just that part like towards the end of the movie when they're at the table and they're all just kind of like letting their guards down and they're embracing each other. It feels like a family.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't just sort of feel like, okay, we're at this part of the movie now.
Well,
Like,
Meryl
it's
was
just very
forced into the
genuine.
hug.
Yeah, it was more just kind of like, go and hug your kids. It's like, no,
Yeah.
Meryl, you're part of the family too.
I do love, like the family dynamic. A lot of movies don't really have moments where a family just comes together and hugs. You know what I mean?
One of the most annoying things in modern films is that every movie is about family, but it doesn't feel like
it. Yeah.
Like this is a movie that actually feels authentic, and it doesn't say that's what it's about.
Right.
We don't need Vin Diesel to tell us about
Yeah,
it.
like every fucking movie I
Fucking
watch,
know it.
I see these like behind the scenes things, and they're like, well, it's about family, and I'm like, is it? Oh, okay. Gonna be
Yeah.
about something else. This movie just really makes me believe that like these people are related and that they love each other and that like they would do anything for each other. And that's why to me the movie was probably so scary to me when I was a kid, because I actually gave a shit about what happened to those characters. And I'm glad that this movie didn't do anything so cynical as to kill one of the family members, just to kind of
Right.
be like, well, we got to give the audience a kill.
Well,
It's a
no,
horror film.
M. Night Shyamalan already did that at the beginning of the movie.
Meaning, like, I mean, like that's your catalyst for the story. But meaning, like, the characters you're introduced to that you get to spend time with.
Right.
I like that. Like by the end of the movie, it wasn't like like Meryl died or something, because he seemed like the more logical person that would die.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's not about more death. It's about accepting death, and it's about just facing your grief and moving forward.
Forgiveness, too.
Yeah, forgiveness. It just hits on all those things about humanity that's kind of getting lost these days. But with that being said,
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like all those points in not only did he have to forgive Ray Reddy, but also God in a way too. You know what I mean? But yeah, no. With that being said, let's go into our emojis.
Let's hear those bomb ass emojis.
All right. So one thing we like to do is rate our movies with emojis. So Pat, would you like to go first?
I guess I'm gonna rate it with an ear of corn,
Yes, that is good.
a glass of water,
Absolutely.
and a tree.
Okay. A tree? What's? Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
I was like, wait, why a tree? Rory, how about you?
I got the alien face, and I got a heart because I love the movie, and then I got 2 dogs for the 2 fallen wolf in this movie,
I love it.
and an eggplant, and then that squirting motion.
I was gonna say,
for Meryl.
from the way you were going about your rating, I was feeling like a real dick with mine, and then you put the eggplant up. Never mind. There it
Don't
is.
ever have faith in me, Pat.
No way.
This whole movie was about having faith. We've been talking about it for 2 hours.
movie.
I just have 2, like an alien in between 2 pieces of corn.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, and then let's get into our plugs.
It's time for a plug.
Okay, so Pat, do you have any upcoming gigs or something you would like to promote?
I really don't got any of that. That's more
Or
your
something
department,
you're
guys.
really into that you were like, please check this out. This is awesome.
Not really. Like, my life's been pretty boring lately. So it's just like, I started a new job, so I've just been kind of doing like the Monday through Friday thing. It's like, oh my god, it's normal life now.
Yeah.
I have to wake up when I usually go to bed in the morning. It's like, it's crazy, but nothing really much going on like that I can think of. Like, I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad you guys have me on.
All right.
I'll leave the plugs to you.
Wait, one quick thing though. If somebody was interested in booking you for a gig or something,
yeah,
is there
yeah.
a good way to reach out to you?
Oh yeah, you can reach out to me on Facebook, DJ Aptrick. Really easy, APTRIK. really simple. Yeah, that's when, like, most of my promotion is just through Facebook.
Okay.
and word of mouth. Like a lot of gigs that I do is like friends, family, friends, like friends of family, friends, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
but it's nice to get a random one every once in a while. It's like, oh hey, I don't know you.
Yeah. I remember my friend Kayla, this is years ago. Her dad was about to get married. And I was like, oh, do you know any DJs? And I was like, oh, yeah, my friend Pat DJs. And then you ended up DJing her dad's wedding and stuff.
That
was like 2010 or 11.
I was gonna say it was
like
a
that.
while ago. I've been
Yeah,
doing
it was
this
a
for a
while
while.
ago.
It's like for almost like 15 years now. I've been doing it, if not more.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. I love when people have that realization. It's like oh, we're gonna have for a wedding. We're gonna have a wedding. We're gonna do this. Like, oh, I don't know any DJs. I don't know. And then when the light bulb goes on, and they're just like, wait, I actually do know a DJ.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone, would you please? I love that too. When I just like get a text message from somebody that I haven't talked to in like years or months or whatever, and it's just like, okay, what do you want?
Getting married.
You're getting married. When's the date? Oh, 3 years from now. Perfect. I'm stenciling it.
I need a DJ for a funeral.
Oh, yeah. That's how I want to go out. I just want to have a DJ at my funeral.
And all I'm gonna play is Baby Shark the entire time.
Right by the casket. Spinning.
Wiki.
It's like, EJ, I miss you. Wiki, baby shark.
Scratch for the corpse.
How about you, buddy? Rory, what do you want to promote?
I'm going to promote very quickly Raven View Productions. That is the film production company that you'll be hearing a lot about soon.
Yeah.
I spent the
You
week.
have something, right?
I do. I spent the weekend getting this thing copywritten and registered with the Writers Guild and all this crap, all those stupid things you have to go through so that you get yourself in a good position legally.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a thing. And it's also the production company that puts out this podcast each and every Wednesday. Neato. We got Fourth Cut Reviews, Church Conforti. I guess right now he's stampeding the TikTok universe.
Yeah, he's really
TikToking.
venturing into the TikTok.
Yeah.
I just never wanted to sign up because, it's a eldritch horror, the TikTok man. So I was like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
staying
got
away
you,
from
man.
it.
I got you. But yeah, you can see him on there. You can Fourth Cut Reviews. He's got some other ones. You can look him up. I think he's on Facebook and YouTube and things of that nature. Instagram. We got Gravy Diggers Pot Pie. You know, we just had Matt Rinaldi on here talking about his new recipe. Made mostly with gravy. Mostly gravy.
Mostly gravy.
No proven sawdust has been mixed into the recipe, so people are still dying. Horrible
and finding
deaths.
teeth.
Glass nails is a popular one.
Yeah, rusty.
If you've lost a loved one recently eating a pot pie, it was probably a Gravy Diggers one. Schwartz Dreamboat, our buddy Mr. Chris Schwartz, out there also on TikTok and also on all the social medias doing free comedy for all you people. You don't even appreciate it. He does funny shit. He sends me videos. He sent me a friggin' picture today of his cat just wrapped up in blankets, and I just wanted to pray. I was like, man, there's something out there making it so that this photo found its way to me. Real Chronicles, friend of the show, Dave Gonzalez. That is his podcast. I sometimes pop up on it and talk about movies with them. They're all like scholars on this stuff. If you ever want to, like, people who can really break down the history of film in a really nice and entertaining way, check out that podcast. You can also find Dave on the Cinematic Reel and also read his awesome reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. He's a legit critic climbing the ranks. I'm super proud of him on a week-to-week basis. We have Horror Fest with Bob Keller. You should be looking for that stuff. He's got a thing going on at the Ritz Theater. It's going to be showing some independent films. I'm super excited to check it out. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, kitties of NEPA Pet Rescue. If anybody's been listening to the show for a while, I ramble on and on about this group because I love what they do. I love that they go in and they save cats. And they get them their shots, and they take care of them. Because like sometimes people do some real shitty things with animals. They don't take care of them, or they abuse them, and they abandon them, whatever. And these people just stop in and they take care of that shit, and they get them all rehabilitated and ready to enter your home and fill your house with love, the way my cat Ella does, who is a cat from Kitties of an EPA Pet Rescue. So thank you guys for getting me that cat. EJ, what plugs do you have?
Yeah, man, I have a few.
Well, I don't want to hear about any of them.
Oh, man.
We are out of time. I'm so sorry.
Damn.
Check out, I just want to say thank you for listening to Frequency.
Damn, we are out of time. No, really fast. Three Jack's Burger Bar. You could come here, check it out. It's in Dunmore. Best burger in town.
Hell yeah.
Basics done better. What is the burger of the month for June?
Well, this episode is going to be, we're recording it right now in May, and fuck if I know what's going on in June. So we might edit this out.
Yeah. Okay. Make sure to check out Three Jack's Burger Bar. Also, Respawn Tattoo, friend of the show, Gentle J. Make sure to come check out his tattoos. He's the best in town. He's got that name Gentle J for a reason.
Everyone loves him.
And also, some music stuff. Make sure to check out Adam Farley's music. It's on Spotify, iTunes. You can check out upcoming shows at themdgcrew.com. Also, check out Chris Alou's EP. It's on Spotify and iTunes. Songs from the Hallway. It's great. Also, New Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
Metal Messiah, Jon Snow.
That dude is in 19 bands, and they're all incredible. And counting. No, if you guys want to see an amazing live performance, and I'm not even joking, one of the best showmen of all time. Check out New Metal Messiah.
I signed onto that. I did.
Yeah, I did.
Co-signed.
So good. Check out New Metal Messiah. Jon Snow. Go to etc.com and you can see all upcoming shows. Like I said, he has all these different new metal bands from like Issues, which is a Korn tribute band, Limp Bizkit tribute band, System of a Down tribute band, and just everything. He does everything.
If you see John, just like Graham, you will believe.
Yeah, that's right. Hell yeah. New Metal Messiah.
Metal Messiah.
Believe. We need a shirt, by the way. We should tell him. We need a shirt, I believe, in the New Metal Messiah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, check out Variant Season, friend of the show, Will Perna.
Hell yeah.
He is in a kick-ass band called Variant Season. Rory, how's that band make you feel?
Makes me feel very erotic.
Okay,
Yeah.
just like Meryl.
Yeah.
And then make sure to
That's
check
my September porn.
check out Shantytown Design. They helped us with our website and our live events. We have another live event, but I think we're gonna be past that. Right?
Yeah, so right now when you're listening to this,
it already happened.
it already happened. We're in the future.
Yeah, we have a Friday the 13th trivia thing.
That if you're listening to this right now, you've already
heard
missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Oh no!
Time traveling.
But
Damn it!
we have a bunch of live events that we are going to start doing and stuff.
Yeah,
so
man.
make sure
And
to come check it
ladies.
out. I hope you guys enjoyed the live shows that we had. But
We didn't appreciate the booze
yeah,
and the slander and the scathing reviews afterwards.
And throwing all those rotten tomatoes at us.
Did you guys bring vegetables just to throw at us?
You know, Rotten Tomatoes is a website, not like a thing you actually bring.
Yeah, you don't
Not
want Jeepers.
But anyways, we had such a great time, but we couldn't have done it without our friend Mike Vinci, who
Hell yeah.
really is just
Stepped up and crushed it.
he just crushes it.
Heart of gold.
Heart of Gold, and if you need a cool website or any cool designs or planning live events, check out Shantytown Design. They're amazing. And then finally, last but not least, check out frequelspodcast.com. There you can find all episodes, our pictures, links to our Instagram, links to everything we pretty much have promoted anyways. Also, we have merch out there. Rory, what's our newest thing that we have?
Oh, we got this cool hat that we just made. It's pretty rad.
It's rad.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the cooler things that you can get on there. Goes well with the t-shirts.
You know, a couple of people were like, you should do tote bags. I love tote bags. And I was like, you know what? We'll have to talk to Mike Vinci about that.
You know what?
Yeah.
No. You don't get what you want,
What?
America. I'm sorry.
You will get a hat and like it.
You will
No,
like
no bags.
And the hat,
bags,
is,
just
the hat
hats.
smells, just so you know.
Also, no, but we have hoodies, t-shirts,
Pint glasses,
glasses.
mugs.
Yeah, if you want like a pint glass, we got it. If you want a mug, we have it. But yeah, we have all this killer merch. So make sure to go to
Check it out.
podcast.com. And again, thanks again to our guest, Pat Conlin, the legend. Oh, dude, we knew each other since like 2005.
Yeah,
right?
man, back into the Cinemark days, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I might have
Yeah.
known you even before 2005.
You guys might have known each other even before.
Because
That.
you were there when I was at Cinemark.
Yeah, I was. Yep. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, back then. Because it was I probably did meet you first, and then you came along. It was like the mutual friends, the connections, and everything. But
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god, like thinking about that, it's been that long, all
know,
these
isn't
all
it
these years.
crazy?
Where'd the time go? Dude?
I don't know. I was scrolling through some old photos and I saw those photos of it was me, you, and Brandon, and we went to like the Star Wars orchestra. Remember
Oh
that?
yeah, that was a great. That was
so
a
much
great
fun.
night. That was a great night.
Yeah.
Still one of my fond memories of you. You is remember when we all went out for Halloween and you had yourself all done up like really great as a zombie and you had all this blood all over you. But then we went to the casino and you had to wash off all the makeup because they wouldn't allow you on the floor because it was covering your face.
Yeah. So there's a really funny story that goes along with that because the guy walks in, he's like, I walk in, the guy at the door, she's like, you can't come in here like that. I'm like, really? And it's Halloween. And he's like, I don't care. We have to be able to identify your face. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, you can just go wash off in the bathroom. So I walk into the bathroom and I just start like washing all this blood off my face. Fake blood. And this old man walks in and he's like, it's quite a mess you got going on there, huh? I'm like, yeah, you should see how hard it is to clean up my real murder victims. And he's just like, oh. And he just backed out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I didn't correct myself. I wasn't like, dude, I'm just kidding. I was just like, let it sink in.
Let him think about that.
Yeah. That was the first thing that came into my head was to say to that old man that I was actually a murderer.
Let him settle in.
I wonder where he is now.
By his age, I'd say he's been long dead. Because he was like an older fella. He was like pretty old. You know?
Man, that's hilarious, though. That's awesome. Not that he died, but
Yeah,
your
okay,
makeup story.
okay, sick.
I was
my
gonna say
God.
shortly after M. Night hit him with his car in the parking lot.
But, Pat, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so
Please
much for
come
having me
back.
on. It was great.
We'll have to do another M. Night movie.
M. Night Shyamalan movies only.
M-Night Marathon.
M. Night Conlin. That's what we'll call him.
I was gonna say, he better keep making movies, otherwise I'm not going to be on here very much.
But, dude, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you so
it was
much for
such a
having me on,
pleasure
guys. This was
to,
great.
like, hang, man. Also, thank you to everyone listening at home all over the world. We love and appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. And make sure to check out our YouTube, too. We have a YouTube now.
Subscribe. We got to get those
Subscribe.
numbers up.
Like, comment. We appreciate it. We love you guys. And with that being said, thanks for listening to Wait, do you think she was talking about swing, like sex party swing?
Yes. That's actually
That makes a lot of sense with all this porn.
With all this porn. It makes sense now.